the mobile home away.
Okay. I
Yep,
have named
we are
race your
not
history
going
race.
to have a mobile home, and that's how every way we start every goddamn session is by us fucking it up somehow. Hello everybody, and welcome to our overly bright and very fucked up Twitch channel. Now you're here with your toes in our somewhat tepid waters. I guess we introduce ourselves. We're the Bloodthirsty Puppet, I'm Blood Puppet, and for some reason I'm running yet another space campaign. This is going to be our session 0 for our new campaign, which is tentatively called A Bitch with Two Masters. I'm not really sure if that will stick exactly like the last time I planned the name. We changed it on the fly, but that'll be how we go. Today it is Friday Night Spice, so we're using our spice system, and we are in our setting of Spiced. Space! That's, a few notes. Don't be a tool about someone's race, don't be a tool about someone's gender, most importantly, don't be a tool.
Or a screwdriver.
Now we got the
Or a
important
mechanical pencil.
Yay!
The Nerdist Switchblade. Now we have that shit out of the way. I'm going to go around and let everybody introduce who they are, and then we're going to go through running a session 0. So let's start with the man on my technically left. I don't know. The dude with the pointy hat. Go to him.
It's me.
It's you.
It's Tech Puppet. Hello. Welcome to, another session where I'm playing an as yet unnamed person. So for now, I'll just go by Tech Puppet and go that way.
The other way.
Hey, I'm Thirsty. I am currently building a character to play in this campaign, which will be fantastic. But let's not talk about that yet because there's a whole session. We shall go this way.
Hello, I'm
That's all.
Tyrone, and I will be playing someone with a Russian accent.
At least he has something planned for his character. Awesome.
We're going to go that way.
Hi, I'm Killer Kitten, and I'll be playing someone.
Yes.
Wrong way.
That way. That way.
Other way.
One of the ways.
Hi, I'm Dev, and I will be attempting a Cockney accent throughout the next campaign.
Cockney, really?
Yeah.
If anyone
Maybe
needs
kind
to
of like that.
pinpoint the moment in which my plan goes awry, it's that one right there. Okay, I sent everyone a brief in our Discord, which basically said, hey, here's a bunch of information you need to know. Some people read it, let's be honest, most people didn't. Right?
I didn't.
Yeah, there we
What
go.
was
At least one admittance. But it was a while ago, and we thought we'd get together tonight and do a quick session 0 on basically some of the things we may or may not have forgotten, some of the things that we feel we should share with each other that we've learned from the previous campaign, and start building our characters and do pretty much a similar sort of thing as we did before. So, let's start out with the basics of the session 0. Also, yes, that's probably something I should mention. We are split up today because a lot of us have coughs, colds, and are getting over that sort of thing. So that's why we're split up today and doing cams, not actually around together at a table. Because of this, and we're not really sure why, Dev's camera keeps flicking out. Ignore it, he'll be back. Not a big deal.
And our internet keeps freezing.
Yeah, there's that too.
Mine's
that
mine's
too.
fine.
And I've
Yeah.
got tea.
Okay,
Just
that's...
make out Dev behind the...
Yep.
Hanging out behind...
Yep, you can just about see them in the background. Alright, so let's start off with the basics. Let's do social conventions. Sorry, a lot of these are going to be sucking eggs and shit that we have definitely done before, because I may or may not be using my same session 0 note prep notes as before, but that doesn't matter. Alright, social conventions. Turn up on time, please, guys. Please do not leave it 4 minutes before the show starts, because I will panic. I will genuinely panic. Yeah, it's just a courtesy to turn up on time, preferably before time since we go on air. Please, please. If not, at least send me a message that you're coming. If you know you're going to be 4 minutes before the start of the show, please just let me know you're coming. It's please.
But that's an unavoidable 20-second delay.
No, I would rather know and not panic. So yeah, just let us know beforehand that you're on your way if you know you're going to be cutting it a bit fine, because as for those people who are here at 1 minute 2 and I'm panicking, I panic. I don't like it.
Just text while driving.
No, do it before you get in the... I'm not advocating texting and
Yeah.
driving. I'm not
Yeah.
advocating driving and being on the phone. I'm advocating, please,
He's saying just
please.
drive recklessly to get there quicker.
Oh my god.
Well then, let me say at this point, I might be a little late.
No, just Send me a message beforehand, please. It doesn't take 20 seconds to say, Vol, I'm on the way, or, Blood, I'm on the way. It doesn't really matter.
I'll
Okay.
let you know next time I'm running a bit late.
You live
Yes.
Okay. Next point on the agenda. Again, if you're not going to be here, let me know. We will have alternatives. Either we will write your character out for a little bit, the same way as we did Mac for a while, and then the same way that we did, I think, 3 of you at some point. It's not a problem. Just let me know in advance as quickly as you can, just so we can make slight adjustments, and we'll run one-shots if we have to. As per usual, as we did last time, group discussion of battle plans outside my knowledge. The way you guys did like a couple of the battle prep plans. Definitely do those away from my knowledge. It's fun and totally acceptable. Please do that. Okay, I asked this question before. I don't have a line. I know many of you guys don't have a line, and we covered some pretty dark shit last time. But is there anything that people don't want to go into? I actually genuinely say you have to state those things because I don't consider some things taboo. And the group may not consider things taboo. So is there anything anyone would rather keep off the table for the campaign?
No, I'll do anything once.
The consumption of potatoes. It's a terrible travesty.
If it's not in vodka form, yeah?
Maybe.
Kitten, you were saying something? Yep, you're back.
Yay!
I think it's just the video. You can still talk.
Yeah, we can still hear you.
You can still hear me.
Yeah.
I can't hear anything
At all.
at all.
Lame. Well, you had that. It's fine.
We can
Whatever.
still hear you, though.
I mean, it's not a problem. Just we notice when you're free, so we can just repeat stuff. It sounded like you were saying something along the lines of you don't want something to be included, or you are okay.
No, I wasn't saying anything.
Okay, good. All right, I will take that assumption then that everything is okay.
Are we having a general amnesty on shopping?
No, shopping is an awkward subject, but for you guys, I will brave it. I will get through that
Great for when
shit.
somebody hasn't prepped.
You what? Sorry.
Great for when you forget to prep.
Yeah, I don't forget to prep.
Shopping?
I prep so much that if I don't want to prep, I don't have to. No, I'm joking. I'd prep everything anyway. Okay, as per usual, if you are uncomfortable with something, it is okay to say I'm not okay and we will skip over it. If anyone gives you hassle, I will go and generally beat the crap out of them. Just say if you're not okay with something. Okay, right. I did okay is okay. PvP is disabled unless by mutual agreement.
PvP?
Player versus player.
Oh, yeah.
I have a question about this.
Yes.
Does that include things like blast weapons?
Excuse me?
If there's a small room and I throw a grenade in there, will it hurt my friends?
Yes.
So PvP is not disabled.
Let's just say a wanton PvP. No, like
Can they not have like some invincible magnet that means
no.
like
I'm not giving you. I'm not giving you that kind of thing. I think it's in Halo you used to do, like strap a sticky grenade to each other and then run out and blow up and then be respawn. We're not doing that, okay? I'm not having that. I'm having none of that crap. But you know what I mean.
Who you're saying is intentional PvP. Is
Yeah,
the same.
intentional. Yes,
Friendly fire is on, but PvP is off.
correct. Yes.
Let's put it this way, Tech. Next time we want to get into a face-to-face confrontation, you have to back down.
No, you don't. You just have to try and deal with it. I mean, if that point you two agree that you will have this fight, I will stand back and let you do it. But intentionally
Bare knuckle
fucking each
boxing.
other, I have a problem with. So just try
Take
not
off
to
my
be
leather gauntlet and
dicks.
slap you around the face.
Oh yeah.
I'll rephrase that.
Yeah.
Try not to be
Yeah.
dicks to one another.
Yes.
What, in a
Yes.
sexual way?
Yeah. We will just for the sake. Actually, that is one of the points I've got in here. For the sake of a stream and the fact that although I love making you guys very uncomfortable, we will be doing everything up to and almost foreplay, but after that we'll be going fading to black because we don't need anything beyond that. So that's where we are. Yes, that's where we are. What goes on? I don't have to say this to you guys because I trust you implicitly. It's why I gave you some very interesting challenges last time we played. But what goes on in game is the game. It's your character, not you. There is the wall. We had a discussion about the wall, which is the idea that there's your character, there's your wall, there's you. Things go in and out. But generally, if your character is a dick, please don't take it home to your missus, which is very important for at least 3 of us here. Yeah, just just bear that in mind. What happens in game is just a game thing. I know I don't have to state it to you guys, but it's worth bringing up at session 0 because it's just one of those things that people sometimes need reminding about. One other thing, a couple of other little socially things. We were really good at it towards the end of bringing home the bacon, and then we got incredibly shit at it during the one-shots. Do not talk over each other. During the one-shots, we were appalling. It was very noticeable. Partly because some of the games I did shut it down in, and some of the games I was in, so I apologise to you guys, but we have to stop talking over each other. It's very difficult to pick up because cams, we're not at home. Yes.
Point of order.
Yes.
I think a lot of the problem with that talking over was a lot of this remote stuff. There is a slight delay.
There is, yeah.
And that sort of aggravates the talking over situation.
Absolutely, it does. Yeah. I mean, we did do quite a few of the one shots separately, but the ones where we were actually all here, those were quite noticeably bad for me.
Right.
I did notice that, especially the one shot I was too sick to be in, or too tired, or whatever. I can't remember what it was, but I couldn't talk. That was it. I was barely able to talk, much like now. I sat and listened to it. I'm like, oh my god, you guys are terrible. So yeah, just we have to be careful about not talking over each other again. I think with the one shots, it was a case because it was the one shots, and we gave probably little to zero fucks. We let ourselves go a bit, but it's just something to bear in mind.
Yeah.
The other thing which we were actually really good at, but I should probably reiterate, make sure your phones are on silent. Make sure they are quiet. They don't need to be off because most of you guys take notes on them, and we have those cool stands for them now. And obviously there are times which yes, you have to go answer the phone. That's fine, not a problem. I'm not going to tell you off or dock you 1,000 like legendary points or anything, but just a bit of respect and all that good shit.
There's 50 DKP.
50 DKP, more dots. Other than that, just make sure we show respect to each other as far as we can. Far as we as a bunch of assholes are able to, just show a little bit of respect. That's about it, really.
Awesome.
Is there anything else, social conventions, anyone would like to bring up? Anything that they picked up from the last set of games we played or from the last campaign?
I think so. I think we actually got together and worked as a team, probably the best out of all the games I've played in the last campaign. So
Yeah.
I think it was socially the best campaign we played.
Mm-hmm.
I think
Absolutely.
it's quite, we definitely improved as we went along. The understanding of that I've had to, especially myself, and that hasn't done much RPG dice games before, especially on a stream. It's I feel that it got better as we went on, so I feel quite comfortable for the next campaign that it will continue in that fashion.
There was actually a remarkable increase when we moved from doing this inside the house to doing this out here. There was a marked improve.
Yeah.
I don't know what it was, maybe partly the setup, I don't really know, but it was a marked improvement between the two. So
I think it's having a dedicated space. Like
Yeah.
working at work as opposed to working at home.
yeah.
You've actually physically moved yourself to a place to do a thing. So it
Yeah.
kind of tends to focus
and-
a bit.
Also, we were isolated out here, whereas like inside there's loads of distractions. There was Terracon who was sitting in the background as well, which granted didn't really get involved, but you know what I mean. Yeah. And there was the cat, which occasionally is sometimes a distraction, but yeah. I don't know what it was, but when we moved it was a market increase, and definitely by the time we hit like the last 2 or 3 sessions, it was just there. I didn't have to tell you guys to do dick auto, just shut up, which was great. Okay, if there's nothing else, social conventions,
Actually, I guess one other thing might be worth bringing up a social convention
there's 2.
is
Yep.
in this one, what kind of how kind of serious are we going to be taking the campaign? Like normally, like kind of you have some of us kind of joking around, but sometimes we have certain things which you kind of look at and think like that doesn't logically make any sense for anyone to do in a situation like that unless they're just like being deliberately like kind of
What do you mean, as players or as NPCs?
it's like as characters.
Okay,
Like if you,
I'm
if
going
you
to
go
get
and
on
do
to.
something like deliberately stupid or something like, are we happy to kind of keep rolling with that, or is it something we want to avoid?
I'm going to get on to the campaign stuff when we get there. Because that's like the whole next section is basically what I'm offering and what we want to do as cast and crew for stuff. So that will be in the next sort of section. So I'll answer that then because I know Killer has something.
Okay.
The only thing I would say, just from like one shots and things, is maybe not try and work against the PM.
Welcome to my world.
Yeah,
It's a dick when people try and break your plot, but it happens, I'm afraid.
yeah.
Yeah.
It's just, you can ignore it, but it's just sort of like it's just something that came that's front of mind. Just
No, that's
trying
fair.
not to work against the PM.
I think that's a one-shot thing, though, is that we actively try and ruin it.
Yeah.
One-shot.
As players who play one shots, we are the worst. I have to be totally honest. We are terrible. The one shot Halloween game I ran for you guys was appalling. I hated it. Didn't hate running it. It was fun. Don't get me wrong, but it destroyed plot. And I noticed that on pretty much every one shot that was run, everyone actively worked, because as a group we are a bunch of dicks. Let's not sugarcoat it. We go out always to fuck with each other. But during the campaign, you guys were
Just
actually.
want to say on that one, the only reason why I fucked it up is because you put me in a spot. When
Yes,
somebody puts me in a spot,
but-
I say something that I find funny.
Yeah, that's fine. You weren't the only one. Brethix at the time was a ginormous dick. He did it too. I think it's a group we do. There's one shot, but when we're doing campaigns, we are actually not that level of dick. So it's good. I think it's just with one shots, it's really good to let off steam, and that's how I see one shots, because campaigns are often quite intense, and especially towards the end of the last campaign run, that was really intense for some of you guys, and the way you all played out was just beautiful.
I feel in campaigns we invest a lot more in our characters.
You
Yeah.
tend to on a one shot. I mean, you could always have like, if you're running a one shot, you can always do like a minute zero, which is where you kind of briefly go over it at the beginning and say, "This is what I kind of want from the thing. This is what I expect from you. This is what you can get from me."
Yeah, that's a big difference from having a session zero like we're having, and from having one
Yeah, I mean,
shots.
if it's a one shot, you wouldn't put as much time into it because you're only going to be doing a one shot anyway. But you can always take 5 minutes at the beginning just to kind of overlay those kind of house rules.
Yeah, I mean, that's something we can look at doing in the future, is when we do one shots, we go, all right guys, let's take a minute to go, don't be a dick, please, which will instantly get ignored, as was in my Halloween one of please invest. Thanks guys. Yeah, but I understand what you're saying. We should definitely have that as a thing. Okay, right.
Stop.
Okay, right, that's social done. I'm hearing someone stuttering or echoing.
That's Andy.
That's Andy. That's Thirsty being thirsty. Okay, campaign I'm offering. This is actually where I'm going to have to look at a different set of notes. Actually, no, I'm not. Fuck that. Okay. We're not doing that. Wow. Reading back some of my notes, we didn't hit hardly any of this crap. Okay. I'm going to throw this out there. There will kind of like so this one I'm tentatively calling Bitch with Two Masters. We can change it later on, it's not a problem. I'm tentatively calling this one Bitch with Two Masters. So like bringing home the bacon, this is going to be doing some morally grey shit. Probably not as black as what we did before, but this is you guys, so it could in fact be a lot worse. So just heads up, there are some legit moral choices coming your way again, because I like running games like that. Sorry. Well, we do not need to do that. Also, another heads up, a thing that we brought up before in this campaign. This is technically a demonstration game for our system, our setting. So some aspects will be designed pretty much as we did before, where we went from system to system to system in game. There will be aspects of that because we need to show off various things, but it's going to be a lot less demo heavy this time round, because we've already done the initial let's go visit everywhere kind of sort of thing. But just bear in mind that this is a streaming just to show all those different things, and occasionally there will be stretches in the plot to get you there, sort of. So just bear that in mind. Another heads up are those spaceships. Woohoo! We are not going to be the focus of spaceships. I know we didn't last time, and I'm very glad we didn't. And technology is not going to be the theme, because our group could spend hours talking about how plasma drives work. I don't care. It's a ship to get you from A to B, and we can go into some like heavy parts of it, but we won't be spending hours on it like we have done in the past. So, yay for technology. We can go into it a bit, but let's not spend hours on it, please.
Just enough that's required for
Yes.
the narrative.
Exactly, enough for the narrative, but let's not spend 3 hours trying to work out how black hole fusion things work, because I will kill you all. I can't be dealing with that. Shopping is a thing. We will shop when you guys want to.
I can feel the pain in your voice at that point.
Yep, pain. Yeah, shopping is a thing. I don't like it, but I'll do it if I have to. Yeah. Okay, so back to your kind of initial question about seriousness of characters and stuff. Like we did last time, this is going to be looking at more role with an E rather than role with 2 L's, which is a lame saying, but very true. This is going to be more RP heavy than some of the other stuff that we have run, other stuff we have done. It's loot light because Spice isn't really a massive loot system. Chucking that out there. There will be loot, don't get me wrong, but it's not loot heavy. So if that's your win condition, then I'm really sorry. It's probably not going to happen. But there will be combat, ships, fighting, investigation, all that good crap. You're out. Thank fuck for that. I've only got to write for 4 characters. Whew. Get the fuck out. Seriously, go. Yeah, so back to your initial question, because that probably works in here, about doing the serious, like whether you can do those snap doing silly stuff. I will be constantly asking you why. Like, if you do something as a character and I think it's off key, or I think it'll be interesting to explain your motivations, I am going to be asking you why. Sometimes the answers to those will mean prizes like legendary points or session points, but be aware that this, I'm going to make you focus a bit more on your character motivations to help develop your characters a little bit more.
Okay.
Does anyone have any comments, questions, or complaints about that?
No, all is good. My character this time is not tepid.
Thank
Yeah.
you.
Yes. I was going to say, not really. As long as it doesn't disrupt like the flow of the game too much, I don't really see it being a problem. Like, if it stops the game like stock still every time someone makes an odd decision, then you know, it could become.
Yeah, it's mostly going to be either at the end or towards the end of the scene, which I'll probably do something like that. But if you do something snap really randomly silly, I will kind of want a reason for it. If your character is insane, I'm still going to want a reason for it, even though it's insane. Just because I really want to push you guys like actually exploring and getting invested in your characters this time around. I know we did last time, but I want to kind of push that a bit more and kind of see what we can get out of you. Because some of the stuff you guys had at the end there was just fucking golden, but it just took you a very long time to get there. I think partially because we were jumping in and out and changing and stuff, but yeah, that's kind of my plan. I want to kind of push you to be slightly more in depth with why the hows and the whys. Does anyone have any ideas on how they think they can develop that, or how they think that we could go about pushing that a bit harder, or anyone got any theories, ideas? Now
What about trying to build relationships, you mean?
Sort of, yeah, like either building relationships with each other or NPCs, but basically kind of how you think it would be helpful to develop your characters and stuff. Some people do stuff out of the game, like they write their journals, they write their notes, they write backups and stuff. Some people draw, which is what I do, or write stuff. Yeah, just anything like that. Anyone think that they want to throw out there as ideas that maybe other people can pick up on and work with?
I found.
Go for it.
I found in the last campaign that most of like the relationships and things were formed outside of like the different like missions that we're doing. So in our like in the characters' downtime. So I don't know whether that would like play into it or not, but.
Yeah, that's actually, I think I mentioned that when we did the wrap up. I think the thing that I was kind of happiest about last time was the downtime that you guys had because you were on the ship. So you had plenty of downtime to work with each other.
Yeah.
I'm not 100% sure how I'm going to implement in this one because you won't, heads up, you won't really be in space that much.
I guess that.
Yeah, it's there, don't get me wrong. I'm not sure how we're going to implement this, but yeah, I think that travelling like downtime thing was actually very, very good. That definitely worked. Alright, I'm gonna try and figure out a way in which we can do that. put a bit more of that in.
New caravan.
Well, one of the options, I mean, we could look at doing is if our guys actually have a day job. I mean, in the previous campaign, our job was to go around the galaxy doing this stuff. Assuming that that's not our job now, we're going to need to have downtime to do whatever we do to earn money. So it could well be that at some point during every session, we basically have our day job phase, which we could, actually use as like downtime to interact with people and do stuff that we actually need some time to do. Because depending on what kind of character you are, like for example, if you happen to be a tinker or something like that, you kind of need time to tinker or your character doesn't work. So it's kind of handy to actually have some downtime when you can actually do that kind of thing. And it also means that characters can go and do personal stuff or like,
Okay.
Yeah, at least then if you have the set time, it also it doesn't penalise people who want to have characters that specialise on doing slower things, aren't necessarily kind of like, haha, I throw a grenade. Like, well, where did your grenade come from? Oh, yeah, okay, fine.
Okay.
Yeah. Also, from the sounds of
I would actually put forward that a good one would
Hang
be
on, killer. We had this discussion, if not 10 minutes ago. Go on.
If we're from the sounds of the game, it sounds like we're based in one particular place most of the time. So hopefully that will mean there'll be more interaction between us as characters because we're not moving about trying to get things done all the time.
Yep. We will be having a small base of operations, which, as some of you who know me, I don't particularly like, that I'm slowly coming around to. There will definitely be a small base of operations for you guys to operate out of. I'm going to figure out how narratively we can have a proper downtime set. Like traveling we had before was very easy to convert into downtime for you guys because you're traveling in the vastness of space where dick all happens. You're either going to get boarded by someone, hit an asteroid, or your ship's going to blow up. She says, I can't blow up your ship every goddamn time. Yeah, okay, I'll definitely look into that. That's no problem. Thirsty, you were saying something.
I was going to say a good way to sort of get a decent buy-in on the characters is to build the characters together.
Yeah, that's what we're doing next year.
Rather than say, because it's easy to go like, oh, I have a relationship with my mum, but it's harder to go, I have a relationship with this character I haven't played with yet.
Yeah,
and that was one of the things that was really good about our last session 0, is that right then and there, I mean, not all of them developed, but some of them in particular, like the drinking buddies relationship between Mac and Lola, that took off from there. Whereas initially it was just like, here are two fundamentally unlikable characters. Let's make them think each other are okay.
Yeah, that was, I think, the genius of the session 0 that we did last time. Partly because we made some of those characters sort of together. And we had that proper like session 0 intro scene, which we're not going to have on this one because I hadn't prepped it because I didn't realise we were going to do this live. And I thought, we'll wing it. I'm not sure I can do that. So yeah, I think that's. But yeah, I mean, my plan for this, the second half of this, when we take a break, is that we'll sit down and we'll work out character backgrounds and histories and stuff, and then off cams we'll build the characters to suit the story we've just written. So we can do that, but for sure, I definitely want the characters to work and like have you guys build them together because those early relationships you form made the basis for pretty much fucking everything, man. It was very, very evident in the last game, and I really liked how some of those played out. So yeah, all right, cool. Well, we will be building out characters, but not right at this second. Okay.
Also, as a note of seriousness. My character's name rhyming with Barbie, is that a problem?
What?
No.
You probably wouldn't have noticed if you hadn't pointed out.
Yeah.
Well, his name's Zarbi.
Okay.
So, and it's built using the standard Me2 guidelines, so it's just one of those things.
Fair enough.
Fine.
Okay.
Yeah.
Fine. That was the other thing I was going to bring up. Yes, alien races are fine in this. Because we are going to be set that little bit further in the future. We're going to set on a particular place. Yep.
So I think Killer Kitten's waving her hands here. I don't know if she's trying to say something.
I'm saying I'm back.
Oh, okay, fair enough. I guess before we go into looking at kind of like what kind of character or setting or anything we are going through, did you want to like describe the kind of themes you want to kind of investigate in this run or this campaign?
I'm about to get on to that sort of stuff.
Cool. Take it away.
There was only one other kind of like meta thing which I'm going to get into. I think last time when we did this I said it was going to be about 6 months. I don't know if this is going to be running longer. I haven't fleshed out all of the main ideas because I was kind of waiting for you guys to come in with some things. But I'm aiming to finish it about the same time next year that we finish this one, which is about hopefully end of October, beginning of November, so that I can take my yearly break. So we'll do a similar thing again where we do a bunch of one-shots at the end of the year, but I'm hoping to take this until sort of the end of October, beginning of November. So like the last campaign, we will have a definite end, but that won't necessarily mean a definite end for the characters, because this one I'm more than happy to keep running for quite a while, because I have no definitive things yet. I have things I know that will happen, but I have no, this is a definite end point. So this one has a possibility of going on, but I will be ending this particular session. I will be ending it at the end of October. So there's an end date, but it won't be the end with a dot. It'll be with a question mark sort of thing. So that was just the last of the meta thing, really. End of October, so we can do farming. Thank you very much for those people who ran the one shots. Lifesavers. You're beautiful, beautiful people.
They were a good one.
They were great. They were really good one shots. Thank you guys. Okay. Right, so let's get on to what the fuck this one is. This is going to be based on a planet, so you're in a static position. It's going to have limited spacefaring tech. We're going to be setting it on Ear, which is Ara's first moon. I have a feeling we went there before.
Yes.
Yes, we did. And it's going to be kind of the idea where you're working, because of this particular planet. The history of this planet is that it was taken over by the Nitu back in the war. And they have held on to it, even though it's within the Earless system, for a really frigging long time, and seem to be refusing to hand it back. In theory, they're supposed to be handing it over to the Earless Kejmi, which is kind of, returning it back to the new Earless authority, whichever bunch of acronyms I'm about to throw at them. I haven't quite generated it yet, but they will be there. So this planet is kind of in political turmoil. It's between the fact that there are the Nitu running it, and the Iralisk are trying to take it back, because it should belong to the Iralisk, and the war is long over, and they should have handed this crap back now. You are based on this planet. Whatever it is that you are doing, you will basically be trying to appease both, because you aren't high enough to start kicking off any real shit. But if you kick off real shit against one of them, that one will fuck you. So you are trying to hold your position, and that's pretty much where we're going to find you. Just kind of very narrowly walking that line between the two major factions running this planet. Whatever it is that you decide to do, I will make it work. We've already had a few suggestions, and I'm working based off of those. And that's kind of where we're going to find ourselves. It's going to be limited amount of time that we spend in space, at least at the very start. You don't have access to your own ship yet. I'm just going to throw that out there. But however you want to develop your characters on this planet, I am more than happy to let you roll with it, and we will run with it, and that's how it's going to be. So it's going to be a bit political. There's going to be some, I'm seeing, underworld dodgy dealing. I don't know why I think that works very well with you guys, but that's what I'm feeling. Yes, exactly. I'm feeling that kind of dodgy underworld vibe from you guys. Not like we're sanctioned with lots of money behind us and we're going to go do Black Ops crap. No, this is pretty much like, oi mate, you want a radio? That sort of thing. I'm feeling that from you guys. That's kind of what I'm going to aim with. If you guys change it, I'm not worried. I will make something work, but this is kind of my initial feeling for it. There will be some bigger plot involved and other things going on this planet which will be affected by the things you do. But that's pretty much where I am at with it. Is there anything you guys want to ask before we get into what you guys want to do as characters and what you guys want from the campaign.
The planet we're going on, is it basically like is it the whole world is basically the same kind of ecology, or is it basically like, there's different bits and pieces? Like, are we in like a deserty kind of area? Are we in like a verdant grassland?
So Ear itself is kind of partially dedicated to returning the other races back into space. Humanity currently has the monopoly, let's just say, on spacefaring vehicles because of the blown up neck and the fact that they can produce these quickly and fastly, and their population just explodes. The rest of the races have to take some time to get back to that state, so everyone's trying to gear back up into building these things, and this is kind of what this planet is geared around.
Okay.
I'm pretty sure this is this one. Yeah, that's right.
So it's like industrial focus.
Yeah, so it's industry focused, but that doesn't mean there aren't things like farms here. It doesn't mean that there aren't things like forests and rivers and swamps and deserts. It's a planet, so it's not just like I'm going to walk outside and it's snow. No, it's not like that. It's I'm going to walk outside and it's just sand. No, it's not that. It is a planet. There is a whole ecology going on here, but for the most part, the things that mostly are on here are kind of industry-based things.
So basically, it's Victorian Britain and a salt plane to fly the new things on.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah. If you want to boil Ear down, that's it.
So essentially, we're the Peckham Ramblers. It's like, here, mate, you want some of this? It fell off the back of a... Well, fuck it, who cares?
Yeah.
Have some of that.
From the back of one of those root scrap cannon things. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Would you... So if I'm imagining there's kind of like cities or like these big kind of industrial warehouse areas which are where most of the population will be working around.
Yep.
Are we going to be based in one of these cities, or are we going to be?
It is entirely up to you.
Okay.
I will basically. Let's put it like this: you guys decide what you want, and plot will happen at you.
Okay. Also, what kind of tech level are you hoping to operate at? Are you going to kind of keep everything like at a fairly basic kind of?
Unlike the previous campaign where you guys had access to high weapon stuff, you had access to a lot of technology, a lot of like hacking stuff, a lot of computers, a lot of spaceships. You won't quite be having that level. Also, the cowbrick level in which you guys will be operating at, cowbrick level will be far lower than that you had before. There will not be hundreds of thousands of cowbricks at your disposal.
So I'm imagining this to be more of like a mechanical type environment rather than like electrical.
No, there'll be electrical here too. It's just... I mean, to be fair, they are spacefaring races. Their technology is probably a little bit advanced of ours, but it's not stuff that you would have around all the time.
Yeah.
So it's the 1970s with computers.
Yeah. Sure.
So, like, there are people over there burning coal. There are people with electric lights over there.
Yep.
There are planes flying overhead, and we're going, we ain't got no kindling to light the fire.
Okay, it's not quite that bad, but yeah. Not quite that bad, but yes.
Okay.
Sweet.
Sorry,
Also, Snoots. Where are the Snoots? Are we doing Snoot racing?
Let's get on to that in a minute. Any other questions before we get on to actually what you guys are? Because you guys have been discussing it, and I'm not sure if you are real. I don't.
Well,
know.
I'm just trying to kind of think. Basically, with the world we've got, because I'm thinking of a couple of ideas, but I kind of want to know like what the world is before we decide where to insert ourselves. So I'm kind of imagining that this is all these complexes have built up kind of fairly quickly. So you've probably got like a couple of lumps of like industrial city complexes, and the rest of it is kind of like.
All right, so it wouldn't like delving a bit further into the history of this planet. It wouldn't have just sprung up overnight. The Irilisk have been probably the oldest spacefaring race, if I remember rightly. Probably other than the Darlene or Ginai, but that's a completely different story. So the Irilisk are well tuned in flying in space, but this is a planet being owned by two, and it was completely ravaged by the war. So it's not like they have sprung up overnight. They have been here for some time, but it's kind of very focused. Yeah, I'm going to go with that word. Concentrated. It's very concentrated. So it's like the city itself
basically
will be very
the need
in-depth.
for it has rapidly increased, so they've probably just kind of I'm kind of thinking of it kind of like wartime like Britain, where it's kind of a case like crap, factories everywhere because we need to build things really quickly.
Probably not that bad, but yeah, I mean, because they would have had some of like their major cities that still exist would be the ones that would have escaped the complete ravages of war. So they would have still completely been that. So the architecture would be very irrealistic to start off with. The very older buildings would definitely be irrealistic. The buildings around it would be kind of that more very complicated, over the top, Nitu type. Probably then mixed in a bit later on with some human like, dudes, what the fuck are you people doing? That kind of level.
What's the timeline in relation to our previous campaign? Is it like the same kind of era?
This is going to be set between 10 and 20 years later. I don't like nailing down times because they're often a pain in the ass, but we're dealing probably 15, 20 years later. That's what I'm looking at. Sorry?
You said in the brief that it was whilst some of us in the old campaign were still in prison.
So what I've got taken out of our Discord chat is it's set 10, 20 years after BHT.
Well, so I think Ennis was in prison for 14 years, so yeah. So
you guys were in prison for 13. So let's say 15 years, because then some of you'll all be out of prison. Some of you, unfortunately, will be dead, but some of you will be out of prison. Some of you will be doing the things you're doing. Probably, Ennis and his lovely young lady will be starting off their becoming even bigger, the Awakeners, than they ever were before, that kind of thing. The Ennis, the Great Awakener comic is beginning to make its rounds. Let's go with that, shall we?
So, just thinking about kind of like the way if this planet's kind of based around the idea of making ships, how well, like, kind of, because obviously all the loads of ships were blown up and everyone was massively, basically there's a huge ship bubble basically kind of going like everyone needs ships. How close to popping is that bubble now? Is it like everyone suddenly has ships? Oh, crashing down like all the kind of,
not quite. No, not everybody still has ships. Humans are being very smart in the way in which they release ships to other planets, to other races, because obviously there is, on a meta knowledge, humans are beginning to run out of pieces of the Anek, of the thing that they arrived on. So they're being very careful in how they go about releasing them and charging them. So they're getting ever more expensive, and obviously those need repairs. And since humans did it, you can only get service and warranty from humans. So being very smart about it. There are a couple of people who are trying to fight the system on human side. One of which was Helena trying to go back and work out a way we can do this. And those technologies are very slowly beginning to kick off. Imagine like the conspiracies that people have about oil companies and cars. It's kind of that level, like they have the technology, they're just not giving it to us, those bastards. So there's kind of a degree of that happening. This particular planet here is actually beginning to generate ships, but they're not as quickly as the humans were able to originally put them out, and obviously they were hit back quite a bit. So it's getting there. It's not about to pop any day. It's not about to pop off any year now, but it's getting to the point where it's becoming back to normal.
So it's still a blooming industry then of like
oh yeah, absolutely, yeah.
Okay. So there's I assume it's kind of almost a bit like a gold rush thing where lots of people are rushing here to help the shipbuilding operations.
Go with yes.
So much more promising for crime.
Yeah, this is a planet still being run by two very intense relationship between the Nitu and the Iralisks. So it's not a planet you really want to be on, because war could kick off on this planet any moment now. Nobody just knows where it doesn't, sort of thing.
True, but I'm thinking like, if people are desperate, then there's money around.
Oh yeah, there's money around.
Also, I'm thinking like, if we're planning on being underground tots and trying to kind of see whether this is like, whether this is a thriving city where everyone's doing really well and lots of hardworking people, or like people are being laid off and there's lots of slums and like.
No, I mean people being laid off, not so much. It's you have a job sort of thing. Pretty much like the shipwrights of old. If you had a job to build a ship, you were good for at least 15, 20 years, sort of thing.
Okay, so people are probably pretty steady around here then. So it's cool.
And so that may be the main focus, but like every other thing in the world, so the city may be focused solely in doing this, but there's got to be a lot of support for that, and that brings up other industries, food, catering, all that good crap. So it's not the only thing that happens here. Okay. Right, okay. Is there anything anyone thinks that they want to try, like overall campaign themes they want to throw out there that might be interesting to come across? Because we kind of have politics, and we kind of have you guys balancing the line between those.
Oh, I kind of if our guys are kind of basically running like a criminal organisation.
I wouldn't
think
go
you-
that far.
Well, okay, if we're part of a criminal organisation,
There you go.
yeah,
Build your way up,
say-
man. This is if
let-
your struggle if your struggle in this is to become like the kingpins of crime, then that's going to make a great story. But you are not there yet, my son.
That's kind of what I'm thinking. But I'm also thinking that depending on how, basically having like a struggle between two powers for a criminal organisation is kind of handy because it means that you kind of have like that kind of grey area in between that you can operate where like one group could be like, oh, it's not our authority, and like kind
Okay.
of you've got the wiggle room where it might be like if one person was to take over, it might be bad for business. Or if the other one was to take over, it might be better for business. So we might well lean slightly more one way or the other. But I think it could be kind of interesting, kind of playing the two factions off against each other to try and maintain like optimum business
Okay.
kind of running. I think that could be kind of an interesting kind of political spin on it, rather than just to have the kind of we need to save the world. It's like we need to save our business.
That's fine. I've got down here criminal empire. They are but fledglings now, the bitches. Okay.
I'd be interested in running a criminal
So
empire.
yeah, so it's kind of the Jack the Ripper city police and Met police thing. Yeah, you stay on the borders so that no one can net you.
Yeah.
I quite like that. But also, it could be interesting to sort of explore the role of organised crime in resistance.
Organised
because-
crime and resistance. I like that.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, like in World War II, organised crime had a big role in how resistance movements were operated,
Yeah, and
because they were the ones doing the smuggling.
yeah, I mean, I'd say to be fair, there's always that thing when like cities are overthrown by tyrants and occupied. The criminal empire does come out and do their bit. Because they have the contact, their networks, and at the end of the day, people who are tyrant assholes like that actually not good for criminal business. So, okay, all right. I have a bit more of a theme running. Cool. Anything anyone else wants to throw in there?
I've put down on my notes here arms runner ?
Okay, that's cool. That's a possibility.
So yeah.
I
Well, I
mean,
assume that would be if we're going to be running a criminal organisation, then anything we'll probably be involved in lots of different areas. But,
Yeah.
these
less
sort of
less
like
Lord of War, more Trotter Enterprises.
yeah.
Sure. Let's do a bit of Only Fools and Horses. Oh my god, that's the name of this. Only Fools and Snoots.
Yeah, nice. Only for the
Only
Snoots.
Fools and Snoots, yeah, that's it.
We started off with nothing but a Snoot stable and a 3-wheeled wagon.
Okay.
I'll have to get my flat cap out the
There
car.
will be millionaires.
Well, we've got the beards for Uncle
Wow.
Albert.
Okay, so this is totally going to change the way that this game was going to run. All right,
So it's going to be like Only Fools and Horses meets Allo Allo.
yeah.
Yeah.
Only
Kind of,
Fools and
yeah.
Snoots.
Possibly ending with porridge.
Yeah.
Hello.
If last time said anything to go by.
Oh dear.
Okay, in that case, I will definitely write a prison on here. Okay, so I'm kind of getting this kind of very gritty, grimy, criminal empire building. Those ideas you had about what sort of things you want to do with your criminal empire, I would absolutely 100% suggest that you guys figure those things out separately from me, because I will have things working against you.
Yeah.
And if you guys plan other things, like I want to try this, this, and this, and throw them at me, I will have to react rather than plan, which will be pretty key into how I think this game is going to run. Wow, the tagline for every single one of these games is going to be amazing. Okay, does anyone have any comments before I set this in stone?
I think if we're going to kind of go for this kind of criminal enterprise, which I really like the idea of, we could. I mean, it depends whether we decide we want to be a fledgling startup on our own, or whether we want to join a more powerful organisation and start off as like low-level people. But I mean, one of the ideas we could have is if each of us basically kind of comes up with something kind of a criminal organisation that we'd like to do, we could basically have it kind of shifting around between it. So if one of us wants to set up some like a protection racket, and someone wants to set up like a gambling ring, and someone wants to set up like arms dealing, we could basically have it kind of moving between us as we kind of set these operations up. And this week we're going to help Tevin set up his arms dealing deal with the local resistance for the Iralisk defense force and things like that. I think that'd be kind of cool if everyone kind of thinks up an idea of how they could profitize some form of illicit activity, and then it will give us something we can work our way through and try raise our stakes of our business with.
Well, this is going to definitely be a very different game. Okay, cool.
Mm-hmm.
This is going to be awesome.
Sounds very complicated.
It's going to be complicated for me. You guys not so much, but yeah, this is going to be interesting. I think I've never run a game quite like this. I'm going to be brutally honest. But it is kind of in line with what I was thinking, so this is going to be interesting.
I think I'm going to be a chef.
That's okay. Okay. All right.
It makes no sense. But
okay. I'm
There's
going
a
to
cover
ask.
thing.
Okay.
Oh,
Right. All right. So let me check my notes for session 0. That was that. Okay. Character creation stuff.
Yes.
This is going to be the fun bit. Now the question is, do we want to look at it as a group first, or do you want to look at your individuals and then adapt those to be in a group?
I think group first would make more sense, because then we can actually focus on how we want what we want the group to be, and then how individuals can fit into that group, rather than trying to wedge a person into the group somehow.
Right, I'm going to throw this out there. You guys are going to be a small fledgling group. Whether you are aligned or not, you will be starting out with basically Dickel. I will give you some resources, but not a lot. This is where you guys are going to start. So go from there. What is going to be your primary initial starting? Let's just say I'm going to give you a very small base of operations. What is it?
It's an illegal snoot racing ring.
Snoot farm.
Well, one of the things I think we need to decide is that in this world, from what I figured so far, is we could either be based in one of the big kind of cities, effectively, and be working like an intercity ring, which we can still have kind of things like setting up snoot farms in the factories after work's been shut down, kind of like clearing, like opening up the different doors between the factories and setting up runs and running basically like illegal intercity races. Or we could be based outside the city somewhere and then have attract people to visit to us. So it kind of depends whether which way we want to go.
If we did it in the city, though, where would we keep the snoots?
Well, it doesn't matter, you keep snoots anywhere.
In the sewers.
Oh, no. Everyone gets one pun. That was it. No.
What?
Huh? Snoots in the sewers?
You call them snooers.
There was a
Like,
pun?
what the fuck?
Oh, okay. But we could. Snoots. You basically, they're just livestock. You can kind of keep them anywhere. You just need a stable block to put them in. Whether it wouldn't be illegal to keep snoots, would it? The same way you could kind of keep greyhounds, and you can still race them, but
It wouldn't be illegal to keep snoots, no.
yeah. So yeah, you could still have them in a city somewhere. They're probably dangerous animals. You'd have to keep them protected and safe. But
as we mentioned before, they are bloodthirsty, vicious bastards.
yeah, so you'd have to have them secure somewhere, but it wouldn't be illegal to have them. So if someone decided to break in and goes, "Ha ha, you have snoots," yeah.
Would
Well,
it
to be fair, that could be the whole basis of our base of operations. That could be, we have a snoot track where we keep some snoots.
Yeah.
And then all of the illegal shit is around our snoot track, which may or may not belong to someone else, but we just live there.
Yeah. So we could basically have a legit snoot track, which might be a bit old shitty, but it's basically this is our legitimate area, and then occasionally go and do some other less things away from that.
Then we have the illicit gambling and the dope guns on premises.
Yeah.
What?
Okay, so do we want that to be our thing? We've got some intercity snoot ring.
Intercity ring. Yep, I'm making a note of it, so it gets my vote.
Would it be a snoot farm or a snooting ranch?
I think it would just be an actual. It would actually just be the track and the stables on the track.
I love the idea of a snoot ranch.
Snooting ranch.
Yeah, of course, a
Oh
snoot
my
ranch would
God.
probably have to be outside the city because the whole point of a ranch is
The farm slash. I mean, you could keep it in the city. I mean, have you been to someplace in China? And they have high rises next to rice fields, so doesn't really matter.
True. I mean,
Just
yeah,
tell me what you
if we
want.
could have a paddock next to the snoot run, then yeah, we could definitely have snoots there.
So what I'm hearing is that you guys would like a snoot race track with an attached snooting ranch.
Yes.
Okay.
A snooting range, if you will.
Okay, snoot track with attached snooting ranch. I'm sorry, snooting ranch is just too good. Okay. I will gift you 3 live snoots.
Yay. We have to name the snoots.
Oh,
One must be named the Spot Spangled Sprinter 2.
Oh my god. I'm gonna get you guys to send me this shit.
Because the Spot Spangled Sprinter 1 is in my backstory. So
Okay.
Wow,
I have to have
okay.
I have to have a sequel.
Okay, you have 3 live snoots. I will want the names. Just don't give them to me now.
Okay.
I will let you guys, unless you guys want to drop it into the
Chat?
Zoom chat. Chuck it in the Zoom chat, and I'll save them into the game. All right, so I'm
If
going
anyone
to
thinks
give
of
you
good names,
a
just drop it in there.
snoot track with attached snooting ranch. I will give you 3 live snoots, which a race does not make. One of them is very sick.
Okay.
So,
Are they males or females?
are you brave enough
It's
to find out?
important.
Are you going to go into the paddock and sex them?
Well,
Nope.
not personally being an expert of how you sex a snoot. However, I would like to have a character who is a snoot stable master. Or at
Okay.
least, has some knowledge of snoot stabling habits.
In that case, I will say that there are 2 female snoots, 1 male snoot, and the male snoot is very sick.
Okay, that's fine.
Damn it, it happened again.
They probably attacked him, yeah, beating him up.
Do you want? We'll make the Spot Spangled Sprinter 2 to be the very sick snoot.
That fits with what I've written in the backstory.
Oh my god. Okay, and then you have 2 live females. I will take any names, just dump them into the chat when you're ready. I will gift you those. I will gift. Your snoot track is dilapidated. It's not good. It's run down. It's shady, and it leaks. The mechanism for the snoot. I want to say trap, but it's not, is it? Oh my god, what do they use to get to chase?
Use
To
the
get
trap.
dogs to chase? It's
Oh,
a
sorry,
trap.
the little rabbit, or whatever
Yeah,
it's called.
it has a name for it, doesn't it? Lure.
Probably, yeah.
Lure is breaking. It may break any day.
Okay.
Okay. I'm gonna say that you guys owe roughly, let's say 300 cowbrick.
So we've literally just brought this under a loan from someone. Probably a loan shark, because we're underground types.
Okay, perfect. I wasn't gonna say that, but sure. I was gonna say you own it, but it's too fucking late now. You heard it?
That makes sense. I mean, if we've literally just kind of turned up, or we've just decided to break out and do this.
So you owe roughly 300 cowbrick, and you got a loan from a loan shark to buy
I think
this joint.
Thematically, it would be quite cool if we just saw a place. We met a guy who said he was doing really well, down the pub, down the Rovers, and we bought his snoot track on the basis that it was solid fucking gold and you couldn't make a loss. And we took a big loan off of Dodgy Dave, and then we got there. It was a fucking wreck, but we'd already paid.
All right, so I need to write this down. So you brought the snoot farm from, the snoot track from a dodgy bloke. Got loan from loan shark. Found to be a wreck. That's perfect. I'm gonna say. Anyone got a D12?
Yep.
Roll your D12s.
9.
10.
All of us to roll.
Oh yeah, everyone roll.
Can you roll for me, please?
Yeah. Got 3.
4 for me. Sorry. 4 for Sammy. For Tim.
Smooth. Okay, I'm gonna say that you guys owe roughly 15,000 cal. No, that's way too much. No, fuck it. You guys owe about 3,000 calbrick to your dodgy loan shark.
Okay.
To the yeah, fuck it. You owe roughly 300 calbrick to some guy, like
Wow.
the original guy that you owe money to, and you own a loan shark 3,000 calbrick to buy this joint. You have bought 3 live snoots, a snoot racing track, and a snooting ranch.
So in total, we owe 3 grand, are we all?
You owe 3,300
Okay.
to 2 different people.
Yeah.
Fluffy.
What was
Fifi.
the original one for? What's the 300 for?
That was the track, I think. Then 3
No,
grand.
the original 300 is what you owe some random dude. And I will fill up that backstory unless you guys want to put it into one of yours. Okay, we now have names for all of our snoots. We have a Spot Spangled Sprinter 2, Fluffy Fifi, and Snooty and the Bandit. That's just fucking amazing.
Yes. I really should have gone back into the Discord chat and pillaged my my snootified
Oh my god,
film
there
titles.
were so many Snoot and the Snoots, weren't there? They were
Yeah,
ridiculous.
I literally snootified every Star Wars film
Yep, it was awesome.
in order.
Need for Snoot Underground Edition.
Snoot for speed.
Please don't. Please
Tokyo
don't.
Snoot.
Please don't. Please stop. I'm
So
begging
who do
you
we
right
owe
now.
3k to? We've
I-
got 300 to Dodgy
I will
Dave.
give you-
3k.
I will give you genuine names and I'll give you some backstories to those later.
Okay.
I don't, because I want to work this into a cohesive story. I don't want to give you some random names because they mean dick all right now. Also, I haven't decided if they're human.
It'd be quite cool if 3 grand was owed to one of like the local crime lords or something.
I know who this 3 grand is going to be owned to, but you've got to give me half a second. I mean, come on.
Also, I guess we're going to need to have some local gangs and other organised criminals that we can trade and work with and against.
Yep. There will be rival gangs. Don't you worry.
Also, rival snoot firms, because we need to take those bastards down because they're digging into our business.
We need to
Possibly
race
steal
against
their
them.
snoots.
We need to race our stable of snoots against them.
Yeah, we need to populate the rest of our stable, and we need to make sure ours win.
Whatever your plans are, I'm gonna run with it. Okay. Alright, so those are the things I have gifted you. Alright, this is apparently your group. You guys want to become criminal empire people doing a bunch of random different shit. Cool. Let's see if you make it that far. Right. Okay, so that's your group. You're basically at this moment you own a dilapidated snoot track with attached snooting ranch. You have 3 live snoots, one of them dying, but you do have 3 snoots. You owe 2 people a lot of money, and you are kind of involved sort of in the criminal world. Alright, that's your group. That's the gist of what this group is. Right, is there anything anyone else wants to throw out there? Group wise.
Yeah, I was going to say, one of the important things is how does our group know each other?
Yep,
I thought
so
one of the-
that's what I
yeah.
was going to get onto with the individual stuff before we got too much further. So yeah, it's basically down to how you guys met in this pub. Do you know each other? Do you have existing relationships? Does anyone already have an idea for a character that we want to start off doing? Like, hey,
Yes.
I'm Steve the plumber, let's work around that, and then we'll bounce ideas off of that, which means Steve the plumber may well change. Just throwing that out there.
Very much so.
Yes.
We have 2 yeses. Anyone else consider their character already?
Yeah, I've
Yeah.
got an idea for my character.
3,
Yeah, I've got an idea.
4.
I have a sort of idea.
You have a germ. Germs are great.
Have a germ.
We have a germ. Germ's good. All right, I heard a definite yes from Thirsty, so we'll start there. Give us the very vague gist of your character and their concept.
My character is a snoot wrangler from Ember, who is the youngest non-inheriting son of a large snoot ranching family, who basically left home a little too young, got in with a bad group back in Coos, and became involved in doping snoot races until his favourite snoot, the spot-spangled sprinter, exploded under the skin tension of its violently enhanced muscle mass.
Cool.
And he got caught and beaten, and all his ill-gotten gains got nicked, and he had his leg broken, and he had to hop system. And that's how he ended up here.
I am aware that he's probably a Nitu,
Yes.
and his name is...
His name is Zarpian Bimal, but he goes by Zarbi.
Zarbi is the name I'm going to write down. If you guys can send me your histories, or basically fill out the documents I sent you links to in the Discord chat, I would be muchly appreciative.
Already done.
Yeah, I know you're done. I'm proud of that. Okay, I then heard a resounding yes from Corone.
That's correct, yes.
Hit me, dude.
Okay. Well, my character's name is Colin Dexter.
Fuck me. Is he human?
He is human.
Colin Dexter. Okay, go for it.
And you've met him before.
Oh no! Okay.
Okay. Yes, he is human. He got drunk one evening on Retire, and thought it'd be interesting to climb into this open crate. When he came to his senses, he realised that not only was he a little bit away from where he last was, he was actually on a completely different planet, which he therefore is stranded there because he has no money, no contact with anyone back on Retire, and one evening he just wanders into this pub, and that's where we'll meet him. But he also has a background in foodstuffs and cooking, and so basically he's a qualified chef of sorts.
Okay, so he has a background in foodstuffs.
Yeah.
He's a drunk.
Yeah.
He's a drunk. Okay. And so far, the only real history you have is that he found himself over here.
Yeah, basically.
Okay. We will work out how long, possibly due to some of the other characters, we'll work out how that works. We're stranded here, but that's basically your gist. All right, I heard another yes, not quite so resounding, but a resounding-ish. It was more resounding than I have a germ, so let's go to Tech.
Okay. I hadn't really settled on intricate details of the character of his background yet,
That's
because
fine.
I think we've only kind of joined together. But basically, I was thinking my guy wants to be like basically a snoot stabler, someone who just likes animals and isn't massively fond of people. I was planning on either going with either a human or a rutai. I was kind of leaning towards a rutai because I thought that would be kind of a big strong creature, so it could kind of deal with these snoots, which can be kind of strong and aggressive.
Mm-hmm.
So I was kind of going on a plan with that. I mean, originally I was kind of thinking if we were going to go with a concise, a cohesive group, is either as like an actual a family, like an extended family, or like a group of people who'd been together for a long period of time. Because just previous campaigns I've worked with, having people who have just kind of stumbled into each other have this huge thing of why would I risk my life or put myself out to help you because I don't know you and I don't care about you.
We'll get into that interpersonal relationships in a minute. We just need to know the gist of your germ of an idea before we go already jumping into how we know each other. The gist in terms of who the fuck you are is a good way to start.
I'm probably going to go for a Rutai stable master.
Does he have a name yet?
No, I haven't got a name yet.
Let's call him Clucky for now.
Actually, no, I was going to go for Mish, but that was thinking while I was being human. Yeah, I'll go for...
That's fine, you can do what the fuck you
I'll
want.
go for Mish.
Okay. I quite like Clucky, but anyway. Right, the next most decisive was from Dev.
Yeah. My name's Jerry.
With a G or a J?
With J.
Thank you.
Jeremy. I'm a bit of a kind of a poker shark, I guess you could say. You know, pretty good at gambling. I like to kind of, entice people in by not looking so good, and then beat them when they put their big bets down.
Basically, you're a pro poker player.
Pro gambler.
Pro gambler. You don't care what the gamble is, but you're good in for it.
I'll go for it. Yeah.
Okay, that actually may bring back one of the old skills we used to have.
Yeah. Gamble.
That's perfect. Yeah, we can fiddle about with that, make that work. That's not a problem.
Well, I was thinking I'd just use barter for it, but yeah.
We'll go with gamble. We'll give you a specialised one. What the hell not? That's why we have these abilities to make random skills and shit. So, okay. Pro gambler, poker shark, likes beating people. I assume in the gambling and not in the other stuff.
Yeah, in gambling.
Cool. Okay. Awesome. And finally, on to Kitten. What's your germ?
So I have a name for a human.
Okay.
And quite in my head, I've just decided that she's going to be posh.
Oh, wonderful.
Yay!
And her name is... Oh, yes.
Oh,
lovely.
well.
Oh, go on, make it a proper lovey. Oh, lovey.
Oh, lovely.
Darling.
Perfect. Oh,
And her
honey.
name- And her name was Sandra Bloomfield. You can call her Sandy, though.
Sandra Bloomfield. My God. All we know is that she's posh. Okay. Let's germ this out a little bit, right? What would your place be in this criminal organisation? Maybe this is where we start with your character.
Yeah, I have a little bit of an idea of that.
Go for it.
Basically, she's got a very good mind for business, and she's realised that she can make a lot of money out of snoot racing.
Okay.
She doesn't actually want to deal with any of the animals.
Oh, you're a manager.
I'm a
Okay.
manager, yeah.
I'm so giving you a unique perk for being the manager.
Manager.
What?
Manager
Sorry.
of snoot racing.
She's a manager. The manager.
You
The
convince the
manager.
upper middle class to come visit our snoot ring.
Yeah.
That means
Are
you're
you-
going to be in charge of talking to people again.
Oh, this is going to be
So well
amazing.
before.
Are you basically the hostess for the upper classes when they come visit?
Yes.
Okay.
And I deal with all
Executive
the
manager of Snoot Operations.
Oh my
Yeah,
God.
I deal with all the business and money and all
Yes,
that.
you're basically the meta of how this group works. You're like, I'm the one that actually ties all this stupid shit together.
Yay!
Excellent. If all of you have aliases, let yours be the manager because that's fucking amazing.
Cool.
Okay.
I'm the manager.
You are the manager. That's so unbelievably cool. All right.
I put it into the thing.
That's excellent. Okay, so how do you guys know each other?
Shark.
You want to be the shark? Oh my God, you actually are going to go with aliases. Perfect.
Snake eyes.
Hang
I'm
on.
going to find it really offensive.
Guys.
Take it, Snake Eyes. I find that very offensive.
Okay, Corone. Come on, Corone. Oh,
The
you've got to be
tenderizer.
the Oh my God, that's tenderizer. All right, and finally, Tech. We're gonna have a witty name for you. Come on.
Well, I was thinking of like my guy's going to be like probably the biggest and physically most imposing. So I was thinking of going for like Miss the Mush or something like that.
Mush.
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 Oi, mush.
Yeah, there you go. Mush.
Mush. Mush. Hang on, I have put the extra U in there. Alright, so we have Snake Eyes, the Tenderizer, Mush, the Shark, and the Manager. Instead of your character names, I'm going to have your aliases up on the board.
Yeah, that's cool.
Because that kind of tickles me quite a lot. Okay, cool. Alright, so back onto the other question. How the fuck do you guys know each other?
Okay.
You
I mean, I
are.
was going to go with being related, but as 3 of us are from different species, that doesn't really work.
Plus,
mean-
I'm posh and none of you are posh.
To be fair, you may be posh. It doesn't necessarily mean you were born well. You could be someone who was born on the streets and develops this kind of persona to try and elevate yourself.
You could be Artful Dodger.
Yeah.
Could be.
Who else is human?
So the humans we have are Corone, Dev, and Kitten, and they are
3
Colin,
bottles.
Jerry, and Sandra.
Okay.
So you guys could possibly be, related.
Because as Colin is originally from Retire, it would make sense if you knew someone from there.
I actually have a very set of important questions first. Humans, were you alive during... were you born in system? Or did you come from the moon?
Don't forget it's an extra 10 years since the last campaign.
Yep. So I think your basic minimum age is somewhere between late 40s.
Yeah, you'd have to be at least 30.
So I would say...
If we're 15 years on, the base minimum age is 27. If you're born in 00.
Yeah, I would say I'm born in system.
Okay, so you want to be younger?
System is for me as well.
Okay. You want to be born... You're in system as well. What about you, Jerry?
Oh.
I don't care if you're all born in system. I don't give a fuck. But it means that you have to be younger than 27.
I think the shark and the man should be brother and sister. That'd be hilarious.
I actually have a possibly slightly better idea.
I'm going to make my character 25.
Okay.
Yeah.
I say the exact age isn't the worry for me. It's just whether you saw the planet blow up or not. So, Jerry.
Yeah.
I don't know. I haven't thought about that at all. My thought is like he probably grew up in a pub somewhere.
I'm like, you should be a hotshot youngster. You're a professional gambler. Have you ever lost yet?
Probably grown up.
Are you
Oh,
the reason
yeah.
you owe $3,000 to a criminal mastermind?
You're the reason that you owe 300 Calbrick. No, I'm joking. It could be. I don't know. Should we go with being like a young hotshot poker player?
Alright.
If you're born in a pub somewhere, you probably could have come from Retire as well. So we'll go born in system. Have you got any idea on how old you want to be?
If I'm young hotshot, I guess early 20s.
No, I go 17.
I
17 young
had
hotshot.
actually just written down 17.
17, I mean,
Oh god.
young.
You're probably
I'm
like really brash, like I
Oh.
can do. I'm the man.
I'm doing it again.
You're being the oldest.
Yeah, I'm literally. If these guys are in their 20s, I'm literally going to be older than them by like 104 years.
Yeah, but you'll need to. That
Yeah, but
kind
you
of
are a
makes
need to.
sense. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, my guy, it is old. Yeah, I think don't Rutires only live to be like 60 or something.
Yeah.
They're not old. They're not
Because,
old.
no, yes, they live very vaguely the same amount of time as a human,
Okay.
roughly.
Crone, do you want to be any idea on rough age?
26.
Maybe 26.
I just realised I could be like, if he's been around like pubs and that, I could have been just a patron of one of the
You could be the
bars.
pub chef.
Yeah. No, absolutely. Yeah.
All right. So
Okay.
let's quickly make a pub name. You guys are good at this. Shout a pub name. An English pub name.
The Dog and Carrot.
The Dog and Carrot.
You said shout a random name. I did.
The Dyson Cup.
The Dyson Cup. Thank you.
Nice and cut.
The Dyson Cup. All right.
does sound
Was
like a place
a
that
chef
gamblers would hang
here.
out.
Yeah.
Okay, and we're gonna
and
say
dice.
that
Better.
the what? Sorry.
Cup and dice rather than dice and cup. Rolls better.
All right. Whatever.
I think Dyson Cup is better.
Two.
I
I'm
don't
beginning
get
to hate every one of you. Do you know, it's down as the Dyson Cup, so do you know what? You may have
I
been
think
forever
cup and
angry
dice
at your
does kind of
dad.
roll the tongue a bit easier.
Yeah, but it's a pub. You just call it the dice or the cup.
You could just go with the cup.
Yeah, but the full name. Was owned by your parents.
Yep.
So
Owned by your parents. Oh, come on, we've done that before. They were just drunks. You can say it.
No, that's fine. Okay, so that's how you... So that makes you, what, 9 years older than him? So you would have been a chef here for probably quite a while. Was that what you did before you got yourself really drunk?
Yeah.
And shipped over? Okay.
Yeah.
Well, you shipped over in a care package for their son. Like, yeah, they knitted him some nice sweaters and, packed some salami. And you got pissed and went, oh, salami! And fell
I'm
into
just
a
thinking
box
like
full of sweaters.
coincidences of you guys turning up and meeting in the same place on the same planet is quite low. It is a galaxy. So, okay.
I mean, there's the possibility that, did something bad happen, which is why you left? Because I'm assuming at least 2 of you came from this pub. Did, like, the hotshot young poker player get into more hot water than he could deal with and had to, like, flee the system or something? Or...
There would be a reason that you two would travel together, because I think the likelihood of you two meeting up on a random planet in 5 systems probably pretty small.
Also, there really wants to be something to stop Jay's character just going, okay, I'm going home now.
Yep.
Leaving the campaign.
I could have lent him some money to gamble with.
Well, that would get you in trouble, though.
Hang on, no, that doesn't make sense. Hang on.
You could have taken him gambling. You could be the reason he's a gambler.
Oh, yeah. There's got to be some sort.
His addiction.
Yeah,
I was thinking.
You took someone 9 years younger than you to a gambling den, and he got a massive debt, and they lost the pub.
Well, I was actually thinking, what if Grover's character actually went gambling and bet his parents' pub on something and lost?
Yeah.
And then basically, like, he had to, his parents were like, what the fuck? You just gambled our pub away and lost. And he was like, shit, we've got to go!
Yeah.
Just abandoned my family.
Oh, no. They paid you away. They're like, you're getting the fuck out of here.
Yeah.
We don't want you around here anymore.
Yeah, they might be like, I mean, did you have a lot of brothers and sisters? It could be that, like, you were like, well, we've got 7 others, so yeah, you can just get lost because we don't need you. You're obviously the bad one of the litter.
Yeah.
Yeah, why not?
Yes. They ship you off. You convince them that it was his fault. They ship you off, and you smuggle him off world in your cargo, in like your packing.
Or like the heat's coming down on you, and you just need to bail the hell out of there before. Yeah, it could be that these guys find that you bet this business, but you don't actually have any legitimate claim to it. So the pub isn't actually at risk of being reclaimed, but these guys have now got out for you, and you just
They want the value of the pub.
So I think I had a similar game before. I think I made my very first character, where there was a chef and she smuggled out this poor young lad who's being abused by his family because he wanted to be a wizard and they wouldn't let him. She ships him off in her cooking supplies and never went back again. So it's the thing that's been done. We can make it work.
So it could be that Grover had to flee, and the Jay's character basically smuggled him out and got him away.
Yeah. That's a legit reason, right?
Yeah. You're fired for taking our son gambling.
Well,
Where's
not
he gone?
necessarily, because if he just wants to help the kid out.
Yeah, it could just be that gangsters are after Grover's character, and he can't go home because the gangsters will get him if he goes home. So he now basically cannot go home, and he's
Yeah, but wasn't the whole point of making this convoluted criminal web the point that so Jay couldn't go home?
Yeah.
Yeah, but if you helped him.
What if they think I've kidnapped him? the parents.
Also, don't forget that if Jay's character and Grover's character like each other, then that's the ground for Jay wanting to be here rather than Jay.
They're in a
random
relationship.
in space.
That was actually, Killer, my very
thank
first
you.
thought.
No.
Oh god.
Okay, so let's go with this. Jerry got in deep with Bretire criminal gambling ring. Bet too big. And Corone, which is Colin, smuggled him off-world to escape, but Jerry's parents thought he had kidnapped him to tempt their young man away.
Surely our boy would never go.
Yes,
Without
so
telling us.
now they're both hiding out. They're both hiding out on here. Awesome. Okay, that's 2 relationships solidified right there. That's why you 2 are here.
Yay.
The rest of you either fit yourself in or come up with a new relationship.
Excellent. I kind of have an idea for one.
Okay,
Annoyingly, it would mean that me and Tech were, were related again.
go for it. Okay.
Would be basically he's described himself already as a stable master, and I've already described myself as a disgraced doping snoot wrangler. So
Yep.
we would have moved in similar circles, if not the same ones. So when I had to flee the system and came and found, a new place to set up a new snoot wrangling scam, hey, that's a guy I've heard of. That's a guy I've heard of. Hey, I met a guy in a pub. He's got a line on the hot snoot track.
Okay, so you two would have just known each other from the biz.
I think it could have been that I may have been like the Snoot Master at its place before it was sold, and that basically when these guys
You
bought
came
it,
with the
I was
property.
there. Basically, yeah, I'm just
We're
the
going
guy
back
who's
to
always-
that
I've
old
just
stick.
been there for a long time. I've just been the Snoot Master at the, or like yeah.
Okay.
They were master at the Snoot place for the last 20 years,
Mish.
and like no one told me they sold the property. And it's just like I don't care.
This is
It's
the
like,
second time in which Mish/Misha has been sold with the property they came with.
True.
I just sleep in like the hayloft above the
Yep.
Snoot stables, and I've just been like doing that for so long that people are just like, oh yeah, he's just like there.
Okay.
I guess
Okay.
we might have to pay him occasionally or something, but he doesn't really want things. So.
Yeah, Mish came with the property. That's kind of cool. I like it. All right, so that basically leaves Kitten, and that leaves Thirsty to work yourselves into this criminal organisation, into this group.
Okay. I have an idea.
Okay, go for it.
Okay. I met Zarbi and
Mish.
Mush.
no, not Mush.
Mish.
I'm trying to tie the two things together.
Okay.
Basically, I met Zarbi whilst like looking at a snoot race. Basically, I saw that he knew what he was doing. I saw the money's worth in snoot racing, so I introduced myself to Zarbi and sort of like created a relationship that way with him. And Deb, what is your character's name again?
Jerry.
Jerry. Out gambling one night, I also meet Jerry, and I see that he's good at the gambling area.
Aha.
So you're a facilitator of gamblers, eh?
I'm a
Good
facilitator of gamblers. I tell him about my idea for snoot racing. He loves it. He comes along.
Yes. So you met the guy who fixes races, and you met a
Basically,
gambler.
you really are the manager. You're like,
Yeah.
I have an idea. I need a crew. What do I need?
Yeah.
I need someone to dope the races. I need someone who's exceptionally good at gambling. I found two people. Ah!
Yeah.
They come with an extra. Excellent.
Yes.
And we have ourselves a snoot handler. You are the man in this. This is hilarious.
Just to be clear, is it that Jerry's still gambling when he gets to here?
Oh, yeah. If he's a
I think
degenerate
yeah.
gambler.
In the case of Jerry had
gambling.
the money together to buy the farm,
I
because
think
he
Jerry.
It's not gambling if you know what you're doing.
Yeah,
I
exactly.
think Jerry should have a gambling addiction.
yeah.
I'm
It's
not
his
opposed
life,
to that.
yeah.
I'm not
I'm
opposed to
just
that.
working out on what location Sammy's character met.
I think probably
On
would
the
have
ear,
to
I
be
think.
here on ear would make more sense.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
that's what I was trying to get you.
So you two are the only off-worlders, really.
Right.
Apart
Okay.
from, I guess Andy's character is as well. But I would have known Andy's character from history of snoot farming. You probably would have met him before you guys brought the place, and I'm guessing I probably would have met the rest of you when you brought the property.
I would have met you through Darby, basically.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then we
Oops.
bought a place.
Okay. Right.
Yeah, Zarby's probably the person who told you about this place.
Yeah, basically.
Always
Oh,
scouting
that's
for the
good.
next job.
Yeah. And then I met Jerry out gambling one night.
Excellent.
Due to the business. Okay, I'm just going to read back what I have to make sure I have this correct. Alright. Jerry gets in deep with a criminal gambling ring in Bretaya. He bet too big, lost too much. Colin smuggles him off world to escape, but Jerry's parents think that Colin kidnapped their son. So now they're both hiding on here. Mish and Zarbi would have met each other due to the business that they're in. Mish comes with the property and basically refuses to leave. Sandra met Zarbi at a snoot race where she saw that he was dodgy. Sees that there is money to be made in snoot racing, especially if it's dodgy. She also sees at this particular race meet here on air that Jerry is a degenerate gambler, but he's also actually kind of good at it, and he'll be exceptionally useful. And she pulls all of you together, apart from at this point Mish, and you guys hatch a plan to purchase the snoot farm. Who wants to have the connection with the person that you are buying the snoot farm from?
I'd expect it to be Zarbi.
It doesn't have to be. Could be anyone.
Yeah,
Could have,
be me. I was looking for a job.
Could have lost the bet and owes me a favour.
Probably won off him in a gambling game or something like that.
No, you don't
If
want
you
to
won
win
it,
it in a
if you
game.
won it off him in the game, you wouldn't owe anyone any
You
money.
don't want to. No, you don't want to do that.
Yeah, we didn't win it off him, but he sold it to us as a favour.
As a favour. I mean, it's up to you guys. I don't care who has the connection, but one of you has to have the connection.
Well, fair. I would have been working for him. And I expect Zarbi would have met him by coming to meet me. Or, like, yeah, I would have put him in contact with him.
Yeah.
All right.
Well, yeah, that's kind of how the narrative would work, wouldn't it? I would have gone to that planet looking for work, gone to someone I knew from the business, found out they were trying to, the boss was trying to sell,
And then found a sponsor.
and then gone, Mrs. Moneybags, guaranteed job.
All right. So Zarbi has the connection to the person selling the snoot farm. Who wants the connection to the loan shark?
I imagine that'd be Grover.
Okay. Jerry
Gamblers and credit, eh?
has the connection. Connection to the loan shark.
Loan sharks love him.
Who wants to have the 300 Calbrick debt?
Me?
No, you've already got a connection to this.
Aw.
Well, you have the manager.
All right. So we have someone waving his hand. Colin, what is it for?
300, wasn't it?
Yeah. No.
That could have been the transport. I mean, you had to pay to get yourself here from...
Thank you.
the
Which you
what,
still
sorry?
haven't quite managed to pay off, but yeah. The smuggling costs of getting Jerry and yourself here.
Right, yep. For smuggling, apparently, according to my spelling.
Smuggling is fine. Okay.
Go smuggling the snoots now.
In that case, since everyone has a line to everything, I'm going to make it so that Miss Posh, Sandra... no, I'm going to make it so they're all in debt, that's fine. Okay, right, that's your interconnection sorted out.
Yay!
Awesome. Oh, this is getting ridiculous. This is kind of fun.
I'm actually quite looking forward to this.
Oh, you weren't before? Thanks, dude.
What a dick!
What a dick.
I'll put the word more in there somewhere.
Thank you. Alright, we're going to go do... Is there anything anyone else wants to throw out at this point?
No, I need drink.
Okay, good. Right. Okay, so I'm going to throw a few of the other random ass questions which I threw your way before. We have that. We have that. All right. Let's start with. Sorry. What's the biggest regrets in your character's life? Let's start with Thirsty because you seem to have the biggest idea.
My biggest regret is making the Spot Spangled Sprinter explode and totally rumbling my first doping scam.
Spot Spannard. Fuck me. Mark 1. Explode.
Yeah. Yeah, I doped him up to the point where his muscles basically exploded under their own surface tension, and he popped.
He doped
And that
too
doesn't
far.
happen with normal Snoots. So someone knew something was up, and I lost everything.
You doped him too far. A life of crime you would think would make you pay, but no. Okay. Anyone else want to jump in before I randomly start picking you?
I do.
Okay, go for it.
Sandra lost her relationship. She stopped talking to and lost relationship and lost contact with her father, and she wants to show him that she can run a business,
Hang on a minute.
can make money, she can look after herself. Basically, that he was wrong.
Okay, so that's less of a regret, more of a "fuck you, Dad." But you regret the loss of the relationship, yeah?
Yes.
Can run a business. Okay. Is your dad in crime? Or is he just a legit and straight? I need to know.
Bit both.
He's a criminal then.
Yeah.
You're either criminal or you're not. Her father is criminal. I love it. This is going to work out very, very well. This actually works very well to something I have planned. Excellent. Okay. Anyone else want to throw something out before I start picking at you?
I'm still writing it.
I think my guy's regret would be leaving the Rutai system. But unfortunately, Snoots aren't really a big deal in the Rutai system, so it was a case of if he wanted to work with them, which he did, he had to leave and go to like a more of an alien planet. But he misses the kind of the slower paced life of the Rutai systems, kind of constantly running around and doing things very quickly as in like humans and other alien cultures, and he doesn't like that as much. He'd much rather kind of take things slow and easy, but he does like working with Snoots.
Okay. Okay. That's going to be difficult for you to overcome, but okay. Well, it's not. You can go home and then that'll be it, but okay.
It'll require more Rutai people to be around.
You want more Rutais? You want a Rutai? Okay. A Rutai to share his hayloft with.
Which is odd, being they're in like, a solitary asexual species.
Well, solitary. aren't they?
Asexual is
They're
different.
they're fairly solitary.
They have cities.
They have no drive to be together.
No, okay, so there's a difference between being asexual and being without
Being a
love.
social.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
I
but
mean,
they don't have much of a drive to be together.
oh my
They
God.
like to be left alone so they can tinker and play.
But some people like to tinker with other people. He may be different in his world.
But pretty much every
suppose.
We aren't
Rutai
all
we've
straight
met
white
have
dudes, are we?
Groups.
Come on, man. I'm not having this
We've been to
discussion
Rutai
again.
cities and towns full of Rutai living together closely.
Yeah.
Not like, oh look, we're Rutai spread separately across their world in very small, solitary existences. Like, no, they've built a city so they can all live within like a 1 square mile area.
Yeah. I mean, I'm not having this discussion about like diversity again. I'm not doing it.
Yeah.
All right. It's Jerry it's Jerry or the other one. Colin.
I finished writing now.
All right, Colin, go for it. Regret.
Okay. His biggest regret, he didn't answer a phone to a girlfriend and found out she was dead the next day.
Didn't answer a phone call to his girlfriend. Girlfriend or ex-girlfriend?
Girlfriend, current girl. Well, was current at the time.
Okay. Next day she kicked it.
Fine now.
Yeah.
That's a bit dark.
I love it.
Yeah. Thought I'd run something different.
I love it.
Oh, it could be good in a gangstery type underground thing anyway.
Well, he was a chef before, so I'm not really sure. Unless you
Yeah,
want this
but don't
girlfriend to
forget
be
he
on
left
this
in-
world.
It'd be quite cool if it is as well, because
Yeah.
that means we can investigate it.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
She was of Okay, that gives me something to work with. That's amazing. Okay, that gives me something wonderful to work with. Dark
Trying
as
to
it
do a
is.
few more serious bits this time.
Yes, please. Because
Yeah.
I know the thing is, I've had this conversation with a couple of the other guys before. Thing is, I've seen you act, I've seen you do serious shit, and I've seen you do threatening, and it's fucking terrifying. I just wish you'd do it on occasion.
Okay.
Just
I'll keep that in mind.
yeah, that's what I'd like to. All right, so if we're like further on, we're gonna have like what people want like from their characters. What I want to see from you, I'm gonna throw that in as a thing.
Okay.
Yeah, your strength. Oh, and that before I forget. Okay, I love it. That's amazing. Okay, and it's finally down to you, Dev. I've given you a very long time, so you don't like being put on the spot.
Yeah. It'd be losing the big bet that made me leave the system. it was a sure thing. I had a straight flush. They had a better one.
Straight flush. They
Fucking
had a
bullshit.
better one.
Yeah,
Well,
straight flush, they had
duh.
a royal flush.
Not going to be disappointing your family then.
Ah, fuck
Well, no,
them.
because that basically meant he lost everything. He lost his family. He lost everything.
It's more about the bet.
Is
No.
he regrets losing, not making the bet.
okay?
losing.
I need to know: is it Bet or is it the family?
It'd be the family.
Or is it the gambler? Is it the gambler who out-gambled you? Your nemesis,
Take one out.
who could eventually turn up later on and like run a scheme against you again. You're like, no, Taryn, I can take him. I am the better gambler.
Do you want a nemesis?
Yeah, why not?
Oh fuck me! The better gambler is his nemesis. Give me a name.
Jimmy.
Fuck me.
Jerry and Jimmy.
Jimmy
Jim
the
Moore.
Hand. No, fuck this. And he knows the
Jimmy and
reference.
Jerry.
It's Jimmy the Hand.
Jimmy versus Jerry, really.
No, it's. I love it. I love it.
Come on, you gotta have
Was
like
it Jerry versus Terry? Used to be the old damager, the old damage example.
Yes, it was. Yeah, back in day.
Jerry versus
Alright.
Terry.
Okay, it may be slightly linked to your regrets. It may not. But what is your biggest driving motivation? What is it that they want? What pushes them? We'll start with Thirsty again because you have the most idea on your character.
What pushes Zabi? Zabi basically he wants to be back on Easy Street like he was when he was a little a capable operator back on the Snoot circuit in Coos. He wants to be able to have money and impress his family because he ran away. They thought he was a loser.
I was going to do that. Damn.
You can do the same. I don't really care. It means you have things that you can share with each other. That's fine.
Okay.
Yeah,
Alright.
his family is in Snoots.
Yep.
If he
That's
can be
true.
the greatest Snoot wrangler of all, and if that involves cheating and cutting corners and doping, then hey.
Yep. Okay. Money to impress his family. Snoots to impress his family. Okay.
Snoot money.
Snoot money.
Has to be Snoot money.
Snoot money. I will make this somehow readable for other people. Okay. That means Corone. You had an idea. I don't care if it's similar or the same. It could be things
Yeah,
you've bond over.
it's,
So
just making. Let's say he has still got a family back on retire, and wants to be able to provide for them. He was going to do the same, obviously, to the unnamed girl who I will name at some point.
well, your unnamed girl was on this planet. She no longer is. So do
Yeah.
you have a family like parents, brothers, kids, wife?
Wife, yeah.
I
Do
don't-
it, man. Wife and
Killed your
girlfriend.
girl. She killed your mistress.
Your nemesis, your wife killed your mistress. Damn that bitch.
Let's mix it up. Let's say that I've got a little sproglet on retire.
Okay.
That's,
Are you still friends with the mother? Are you still friends with benefits with the mother? Are you still with the mother?
Let's say we've got sort of the mutual friendship in order to be good for the child.
Yep.
Rachel.
But maybe
The child.
maybe he's never got over her completely. That usual.
Well, it's not like you can now. I mean, not quite over her.
Or
Okay.
was she the one that died?
Otherwise, the
No.
kid would be parentless and be stuck on retire, and this woman
Yeah,
died
but
here on
her
here.
grandparents.
Yeah.
Who were
Nice.
gradually getting older and more infirm.
Oh god. It's up to you, man. The option is there.
Gives you that time pressure.
Okay. All right. We're going with the no. I heard a no. All right. So, do you have names for your child?
No, I haven't written them down yet.
Okay. What I'm going to do, guys, I'm going to give you till Wednesday, next Wednesday, to fill in any details, and if you don't by then, I will fill them in for you, because I will need them to be able to generate story. Okay, I love that as a motivation. Tech.
My motivation, I think, is basically he wants to be able to live the quiet life So he wants to have enough result, because at the moment he basically has to pretty much do whatever he needs to make money. So he wants to be in the position where he's got enough power, influence, and wealth that he can basically just ignore people and not have to deal with them and just live alone with his snoots. So he basically
hang on. So you basically want to have an easy life, have all the resources to be able to live alone with the Snoots and the single Rutai of your choice in your hayloft.
Yes.
I fucking love it.
The American dream, almost.
With a single Rutai.
Yes. I want to have a mostly solitary existence. Doesn't necessarily need to be a Rutai.
That
Just
basically
someone who
makes you
follows-
Rutai. That's amazing.
Someone who basically follows the Rutai philosophy of like just taking it easy. It could be just a very chill Gendal or like a human or anything. It doesn't need to be a Rutai, just someone of that chill disposition.
Okay, they basically need someone
Yes.
chill as fuck.
Yeah.
All right.
This actually fits quite well with the whole thing of Rutai don't understand the concept of the future, because he just wants a nice life. He hasn't got a plan. It's not like a set in stone thing that he has to achieve in a certain time. It's just like, I just wish people wouldn't keep coming in here and asking me for things.
Yeah, exactly.
Please get out. just leave.
Have to keep arranging these like gambling things and stuff, and I just want to like sit here and look after the snooze.
I mean, it's an easy life. No, who wouldn't want it? Kitten.
Proving my father wrong,
Proving your father wrong.
basically. So
That's-
fuck you.
Simple, effective. I fucking love it.
Can't go wrong with
Dev.
daddy issues.
What did you say?
I said you can't go wrong with daddy issues.
Daddy.
Yeah, it's kind of a returning theme. Lola had daddy issues.
Yeah.
Daddy issues
I
is
have
a,
daddy issues.
daddy's issues is a great thing. I mean, you have parent issues. I mean, what you technically have mother issues, I guess. But all right, Dev.
I want to make it big. I want to be well known.
Giggity.
Doesn't normally work in the criminal underworld, but
Want to make it big.
get there.
Want to be known. Like, as in, you just want fame, or do you want fame for being a gambler, or
Fame for being a gambler, swindler, grafter, grifter, whatever it is.
you that basically does make you big in the underworld.
Yeah.
Okay, that's actually
Right.
pretty cool.
I have a bit of an update
All right.
since I've written it. The girlfriend that was found
Oh,
dead.
we have names. Holy shit. Okay, cool.
Her name is Lucky.
Oh my god, that's dark.
Yep.
I fucking love it. Yep, lucky.
His son is called Pierre.
Sproglet. Piere.
I've got it as Piere.
That's fine. It's your kid's name. To call it what you want.
And it's his ex-wife, and she's called Scar.
Ex-wife called Scar.
Scar,
I'm going to say that's short for Scarlet.
correct. And he's never fully got over her.
That's fine.
Okay.
Okay, perfect. All right. Next set of questions. We did that. We did that.
Break. Anyway.
Yeah, same.
There's like 12 questions. Yeah, go pee now. You guys go pee. Don't have to wait for the break. Just go for it. Actually, no.
Having a break.
I hadn't thought of it because we haven't actually running that far.
Have
Oh,
a break,
Jesus, we
woman.
actually genuinely are. My God, we spent hours doing this shit.
Yeah, it's 10.
Yeah, but
Yeah. Break,
who knows
please.
it would take this long? All right,
Lots
sure.
of it.
We'll go to break. People are hounding for a break. We're going to take a break, slackers. All right, we'll be back soon,
Yay.
everybody. We're back.
Hello.
Oh,
All right, so I actually didn't have a lot of questions left, but never mind. We'll figure something out. Okay, before I get into the deep, heavy shit, is there anything you guys want to ask each other about characters? I'm going to these for a while.
Yeah.
Who are you asking?
Everyone.
Who first?
I am a large Rutai. I'm grey on top, fading to black further down my body.
So you're a honey badger.
If honey badgers are grey on top and black on the bottom, then yeah.
It's sort of white and black, but yeah, you're a honey badger. Awesome. We have a cocking enormous honey badger in our midst. Right. Yes.
You can go
Thirsty.
first, no.
I, on the other hand, am a Nitu. I am a glorious Nitu with some sort of dark blue scales, which I chose particularly because I'm colourblind and can't see dark blue. He is about 5'11". He has sort of very like ruddy, sort of orangey brown eyes. They're not particularly lovely looking, with obviously reptilian slits. He's very, very skinny. Considering that he is in fact the height of me in real life, he weighs like 8 stone, which I don't. Like my legs
that's
don't.
True. That's true.
And he may or may not have a maniacal gleam in his eye when people like talk about Snoots, because his life is Snoots. He lives for the snoot.
People are weird. Tech. Oh no, we did you. Who's next on my list? Colin.
Okay, Colin is he has a bit like me, except it's just the goatee. It doesn't have the side beard or anything like that. And he wears combat gear, head, foot in like combat stuff. And if he puts his chef hat on, then shit goes down.
Okay.
No.
Chef hat. Okay. Well,
He wears combat.
I'm going to throw this out at you. There will be questions on that. I'm not going to lie.
He will stand out massively wandering around wearing camo gear.
No, like camo gear is probably fine. You probably won't raise too much of a question for that. Wearing the pristine white chef's hat, I may ask you a lot of questions about that come the time.
Okay.
Kitten, what does Sandra look like?
Sandra is very, very tiny. Blonde. So I'm gonna put her at about 4.5 foot. Blonde, very slight.
My God, that's amazing.
Space Wolf.
And she wears very, very posh clothing.
She wears a suit.
She wears a posh suit. Yeah.
She has to wear a fucking pantsuit.
Oh,
She has to
come
wear a
on.
suit.
Please tell me she dresses like Nigel Farage.
No.
I'm
Come
more
on.
thinking
She
of
dresses
like.
like Deborah Megan.
I was thinking
was
more
thinking
like she
she dresses
dresses
like
like
a
the woman from, I think, is it The Incredibles? The family.
Oh, yeah.
The very short woman who does all their clothing.
Okay.
Oh yeah.
That's the
yeah,
one.
Sure.
That woman.
Yeah, sure.
I
But
just.
blonde and young, obviously. Yeah.
Oh my God, that's like no capes.
And for those who want to know, you can literally look that up. Just type that in on Google and it will come up.
Just
That's-
like no capes.
No
Yeah.
capes. That's
Literally
amazing.
just done that myself.
Yeah, no capes woman from Incredibles. That's
Edna.
fucking
No
amazing.
capes.
Edna, that's her name. Yes, Edna.
But I don't have glasses. I'm
No, that's
blonde
fine.
and-
Minus the
blonde
glasses and blonde.
actually.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Okay.
Dev. What do you look like, dude?
Don't just describe yourself again.
Please don't do
I
that.
was actually thinking that he probably looks like me when I was 17.
So he had like really big baggy jeans he's
Don't-
owned for like 5 years.
Don't you fucking do it.
No,
I was thinking of going from like Leonardo DiCaprio from like the Wolf
Titanic.
thing.
No, Titanic. No, where's really fucking young. Oh no, from The Quick and the Dead, because he's really young in that.
Yeah, I was basically going to say he's like a surprisingly attractive 17-year-old.
Okay.
So I was tempted to go for the I've never had it before, as the sexy trait.
Oh, cool.
So
Oh,
he's
that's
a
a
Probably
brave.
have like slicked back hair and like
Yeah,
wear a
looks
suit.
after himself. He trims all the necessary areas.
That's perfect information. That's just enough to know. Sexy.
So you're basically going for Barney from How I Met Your Mother.
Yes.
Okay, sexy.
Fine.
Barney from How I Met Your Mother. That's perfect. Okay, that's amazing. All right, I think that's everyone, right?
I've got one more thing.
Yep.
Thought of if I could add to the chef's hat.
Okay.
That inside the chef's hat, because it's quite big, so it's quite helpful to conceal something in there. You could have a chef's knife in a leather sheath
Inside
actually-
your hat.
inside the top of the hat, pointing up, so no accidents, and in a leather sheath, so the blade's not exposed.
up so no accidents.
Don't be down.
Like, you know, in case it falls off on someone. Or you trip over.
Or you can headbutt someone. I don't know.
hmm.
Just as an idea.
No.
I'm not sure how legitimately that would work. I'm struggling to picture how that's going to work.
Be quite a lot of weight to put in something that sits loosely on top of your head.
Yeah. It would literally be easier to have a meat cleaver strapped to your buttock.
You are also a chef, so walking around with a cleaver in your hand would not be.
No, that would still be disconcerting for a lot of
Oh,
people.
no, I mean literally like taped.
Don't
to,
worry, mate, I'm a
your
chef.
thigh.
No!
Not like just walking around with it. Like, hey!
I just have visually wandering around the town square with a giant cleaver and everyone being like, why is that guy in combat fatigues wearing a chef's hat carrying a giant cleaver?
Yeah.
Should we please?
Yeah, that's some serious guerrilla dining.
I'm gonna say that wandering around with a meat cleaver is probably still going to ask questions regardless of whether you have a hat on or not.
Okay.
But I have a hat!
Yes. What are you doing, you goddamn psychopath? I've got a hat! I've got a hat! Fuck
Yeah,
you! Get away from me!
I think from a logistics point of view, I'm not entirely sure how like the leather sheathed knife in your hat is going to work. Because if you trip and fall, it's going into your head, dude.
It was an idea. I'm going to wheel it back in.
It was
And
good
it's
you
just
threw
gonna
that
be-
out, but I don't think it's going to work.
He wears the hat when he's cooking.
That's fine. When he's tenderizing.
Why don't you have a tenderizing hammer then? If you're called the tenderizer. Just gonna put that one out there. Or, you know, knuckle dusters.
I just
Because you
thought-
can literally buy those.
When
Meat
we,
tenderizing knuckle dusters.
when we roll equipment, I'll do it then.
Yeah.
just thought of something.
Yep.
He's the chef. He cooks the books.
Oh.
Ah.
Oh my god. I will leave that up to you if you want to take that. It will be taken with a though. But
I
I'm
like that. That's pretty good.
I have to say, yeah, well played, sir. Well played. But
Yeah.
all right, pun aside, that was your one. That was your one. Okay.
But
Is there any other questions anyone wants to chuck out? You are actually genuinely going to do that?
I'm going to put that down as his catchphrase, and I don't know why my computer's come on. Stop it.
Okay. Cool.
Okay.
He considers people books. Wonderful. All right. Is there anything anyone else wants to throw there? Any other questions they have for any other characters or any ideas before I start on the other bullshitty questions?
Basically, cut there.
Okay. All right.
I think I've got nothing else.
Let's start off with Thirsty then. What do you want from this character? What do you want to explore with them?
I quite want to explore a character who actually wants to get involved with things again. Because I've just come off a character who didn't want to be involved at all. I quite like the idea of having a character who has a very clear idea of what he wants to do, and is trying to at odds with everyone else who just wants to kind of use it as a hollow criminal enterprise. He actually wants to be successful in the snoot business. He's willing to cheat to get there, but he actually wants to do well.
Basically, you want
He
to play
actually
someone
gives-
with drive.
I want to play someone who gives 7/10 of a fuck about whether their front succeeds or not. You know.
You basically want to play someone who's giving a fuck.
Yeah.
Okay. That's perfect. That's fine.
You know. I want to play the Del Boy who goes like, next year we'll be millionaires, not Rodney who goes, ugh, all right.
Alright, fine. I'll carry the bags. Yeah. Cool.
Yeah.
Alright, Corone. I'm following the order I've got this shit written down.
No, it's fine.
What do you want to experience with what do you want to explore? What do you want from the character?
Me, basically, I think is mostly playing a mostly serious character for once.
I'm gonna throw the hat out there.
And yeah, and sort of, I use the word mostly because as a disclaimer, in case. But yeah, so and sort of the emotions that go with that kind of character that I wasn't able to play with or as much with Tepid because that wasn't his thing really. So yeah, that's
Okay.
Keep it basic.
You've given me some really good plot points at the back there, so we can definitely play with that serious. Actually, trying to go through some emotions, man. Let's give it a shot.
Yep.
Seriousness, I will keep you as much as I can on track with that. I will be asking a lot of whys, and in your case, I will be giving positive and negative session points based on that bullshit. So keep that in mind. Okay, Tech, your turn.
I am looking forward to playing a character who is less intelligent in this game, because last time I played kind of a very intelligent character who was kind of thinking things through a lot, and I'm looking forward to kind of having a character who doesn't necessarily think things through to the same degree, and is more of a case of like keeps things simple and doesn't overplan or like, you know, spend too much time considering things, and also someone who's not so kind of like morally high ground as like previous character. It's just a case of like, I just want to be kind of, you know, yeah, he wants to achieve a certain state of living, and he's not overly concerned about how he gets there. Yeah,
Alright.
as long as him and his snoots are happy, then that's basically like, you know, job done.
You want to play someone who's keeping it simple and could do the spontaneity that you couldn't quite do with Tim. Yes, the other guy. Shit.
Ennis?
Forgotten his name. Ennis. I'm sorry. Ennis and Tim are linked in my head. I can't. I'm sorry.
Oh, hooray! This will bring us into conflict again.
And this is what Tim would have been if he'd been in the future.
Okay, yeah. You don't want to be Tim in the future.
Yeah.
Alright, okay. Good. Kitten.
I want to play someone who's more in charge. Got like more in control of what's happening around them.
Yeah.
And form more relationships. More
Form-
positive relationships.
Okay, someone who's in control and in charge. Basically, rather than we're gonna blow you up if you don't tell us everything right now. Oh god!
Yeah.
Okay, good. I like to hear that. You are basically the front woman who does all this. This is your empire, baby.
Yeah.
You've
And
been
she,
self-
as I said, she wants to form more relationships with the people that she's worked with.
Yeah. Oh, good. I'm glad. It works well.
That actually makes kind of consistent player arc for you from the last campaign as well.
Yep.
Because your last campaign's themes were daddy issues and control, weren't they?
But you're
Yeah.
starting off.
No,
with
that's
control.
cool because you're exploring it in a different way.
Yeah.
You know.
This is very different from how it was with Lola, who was basically the abused victim.
Yeah.
And she let herself be that for a while, and then she didn't. And
Yeah.
now you're starting off from a place of control. So
Now
it's
you got the abusing victimizer. Everything's different.
everything is different. Yeah, I like it. It's a good. Sometimes like people talk about red threads in a negative way. I don't always think it is a negative thing if you approach them differently each time. So I think this is going to be an interesting, different character. And Dev.
I will be completely honest. When I thought of this character, the two things I wanted to explore were a Cockney accent and the sexy perk.
Do you know what, my friend? I'm gonna let that slide because
That's the entire basis of this character.
I'm gonna step back and say, normally you play Joe Average, which winds me the fuck up because it's so difficult to do shit with you. Last time you played someone who was emotionally dead, which made it difficult to push you into doing things. The fact that you have a character based on a Cockney accent and the sexy perk. This is shit I can play with. That's okay. If later on you decide you want to push an arc or do
Yeah.
something, just
put
have
a
to
bit
send me a
more thought into
message. Yeah, put me some message, but no, that's... We have an honest person.
I feel like the sexy perk is probably why I chose to talk to you in the gambling ring.
Oh, nice. Positive relationship, are we? Uh-huh. He's like 8 years younger than you. Wrong. Okay, cool.
He's legal.
We'll work on this. Okay.
Like
I would eventually like something more from you, but it's
start
the
with
fact that you're trying someone who isn't Joe Average actually kind of makes me happy, so that's fine. Cool. All right. All right. Is there anything you guys want to see from each other? because I have things I want to see from you. Like, I will throw it out there. Because Corona and I had this conversation before we started, kind of, in the break, of I've seen Corona do some insanely intense, serious acting that has genuinely had me terrified. I want to see that kind of intensity. I want to see that kind of serious acting. You know what I mean? That kind of... I know you have it in you. I want to see you do it.
Yeah.
So, that's... I will start the ball rolling with that. There you go. But, Corona, you pick something from someone. Off you go.
Oh, I can't think. No, it's not there at the moment. Give my brain a couple of minutes.
All right, pass the baton to someone else then.
Killer.
Crone. I want to see you play someone who's not insane.
I think we covered that.
Oh yeah,
I'm
sorry.
trying.
So, to be fair, you did describe them as someone who wears combat fatigues and a chef hat. That's...
Don't get me
As
wrong.
opposed to say whites.
We aren't losing the insanity of being Corona. I don't want to get that out there, but maybe less completely insane.
I didn't say wears it all the time.
He only wears the hat when he's cooking the books. I mean, come on, we know this.
No, my original description was when shit goes down, he puts the hat on. It wasn't like he was gonna wear it like constantly, but yeah. Anyway, there was actually a possible reason for it, but we've discarded that because it really makes sense.
These things happen.
But yeah,
I can come up with something else if you want.
it's up to
You have something else? Go for it.
Tech. I want to see you less making bombs.
That's okay. That's something I'm really not planning on doing at all in this
A
campaign.
character who doesn't spend all their spare time making loads and loads of gadgets.
Yeah, none of that. No gadgets.
Bombs and drugs.
Nothing.
Does that mean I can't take the gadget wanker perk? Oh,
Yes.
No.
it's okay, I wasn't
Somebody who
planning.
actually sleeps.
Yeah, someone who actually sleeps and just doesn't do shit loads of shit while we're.
But you have, in fact, set that up as the basis for your character. So...
Huh?
You have set that up as a basis for your character, the person who isn't the gadget wanker, the person who wants the easy life.
That wasn't what I was planning to do with this gadget. I was planning to do something completely different.
Yeah, it's good. I'm glad. You saw it, you changed it, you reckon. I love it. Cool.
Okay.
All right, then, Tech, you can bat to someone.
Cool. I'm actually going to pass one back to Killer Kitten again.
Ooh.
All right.
Which is learning or spending more time talking to NPCs in a careful and controlled manner. Yeah, while maintaining control of the situation.
That's what I'm trying to do.
Yep.
That's what I'd like to see more of that during this campaign.
Because
I can't promise anything, but I'll
you
try.
actually did it. You nailed it during the interrogation of Mac. You fucking nailed it in that. You really did. It was amazing to see.
It's different with Mac because with Mac she knew what to say.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
If it's someone she doesn't know, then she doesn't know.
Yeah, the fact that you have that there though, it's like that was actually one thing I was gonna say. Is like when you think things through, fucking A, man. So yeah, I have to agree with him on that. Your control stuff is out of this world. It's so good. So
It's pretty brutal to be on the other side of it. Even when you're just pretending.
You got thirsty to snap in a way I've never seen him snap in life or in game. It was good. I loved it.
Good.
There you go.
I don't have any more, so I'm going to bat it down to thirsty.
Oh, okay. Okay. It's actually kind of been covered by the character concept, but I actually was one for Tech. It's not necessarily a thing to like I want to see. It's something I'm going to enjoy seeing because it's already going to happen. I'm going to enjoy being the one who's taking the moral high ground when you're trying to be devious, as opposed to the other way around.
Oh, dear.
But I still suspect that it's going to go the other way.
It
You know.
depends if you try and hurt my snoots.
Well, I'm going to try and dope them up.
If
So
I will be very, very angry at you.
Yeah. But I'm going to. I want to see you being more morally flexible.
Yeah.
Because you are a criminal this time.
Yes, exactly. Yeah.
And you are, in fact, just as dark as we are. You're just much better and more moral at hiding it.
Yes. But yeah,
Cool.
that's pretty much it.
Back to someone else then.
All right, Dev, do a thing. Go.
So, mine's sort of already been said, and the other one isn't ever going to happen. So,
Do it anyway.
the other one was it'd be really nice if you know, Thirsty and Tech could just get along.
Oh, it's never gonna happen.
Oh, you cheeky
That-
bastard.
Was actually one of the things I was going to say.
It's hard.
Nice for you to actually make characters that, you know, can get along with each other and not have to spend half an hour each session of you two arguing about something.
Hey, our characters got along very well in the previous session.
They
We had like two. No, we did. We had like 2 synergies built up.
Because you work so badly. That was actually
Yeah.
one of the things I was going to say. Is like, the thing is, I enjoy watching you two bat against each other. It's just something fundamentally hilarious
is,
to me.
Once again, we've both chosen roles that are basically very close to each other.
Polar opposites. Of
We
the
literally,
same
we are the only 2 people that are doing basically the same thing in this group.
Yep. Yeah. I mean, that was basically one of the things I was going to bring out. Is that as much as it amuses me, maybe try and make characters. It's not okay. I will still have fun watching this anyway. Right. Is there
Hey, I
anything...
brought everyone together.
Yep. You brought everyone together. I mean, you're the linchpin in this group, so to speak. So, is there anything you guys want to see from me?
What was I?
Anything you guys want to see from me? Because there are some things I know I want to work on. For example, not calling everyone Steve. So I'm going to have a list of prep names this time round. Yeah, I know. We can't have Big Steve, Little Steve, not Steve, and Steve. We can't do that. And just Steve. And Stevenson. I'm going to make sure we prep names other than Steve this time round. And I want to ask you guys a lot more whys to why the fuck you're doing stuff, just to push you guys and push me. So, is there anything you guys want to see from me?
I mean,
Less killing of our favourite NPCs.
Not going to happen.
Oh.
All your NPCs will die. Some of the snoots, heads up, some of the snoots are going to die.
this is the snoots are going to replace Helena. Like, no, we must save the Star Spangled Runner.
We will find the cure.
I know he's going to have some kind of motor neuron disease. No.
We will find the cure.
You were too young, Snoot! You were too young!
He was only 2 years old.
I'll take him into the stable to block and triple crit healing him. We'll buy him 11 years, but the chemicals are...
Don't live.
We'll buy him 11 years more life.
Okay, other than not killing your favourite NPCs, which I'm sorry is probably going to happen,
one of the things I'm kind of looking forward to is having some big powerful factions, like, you know, we're going to have like the Iridis government on one side, the D2 government on the other side, and probably at least one local crime boss. It would be really cool to be able to interact with them in a way that didn't lead to violence. So I'd definitely like to see some kind of, you know, like kind of business dealing type thing, rather than a case of like storming and their shotguns blazing. More kind of like business dealings and like political maneuverings without necessarily, with you know, focus more towards non-violence is something I'd like to see.
Yeah, so you guys actually managed to deal a lot of stuff in the old campaign by not killing it. There were so many things that you could have killed and gone through that you didn't, which was ace. But yeah, I'm seeing this definitely a bit more political. I mean, there will be some hits out, don't get me wrong. There will be some violence in there. But yeah, I actually really like the non-violence approach to doing stuff because I think RP-wise it makes so much more sense and stuff. It's way more interesting.
Especially in this campaign, because it wouldn't really make sense for us to storm an embassy and like execute a group because they're annoying our business. So
also,
that wouldn't really make sense. And again, like, yes, this small underground group have just like eliminated one of the political factions through violence. Like,
yeah, I mean, that's an option you can take. Like, if the only thing to like, you just go like freaking Godfather on them, just like go in there and obliterate every single one of them. Those are options that you can investigate. So, how you guys deal with it is how you guys are going to deal with it. If you want to do it non-violence, you do it non-violence. If you want to do it violence, then it will be done with violence. But there will be people who want to murder your face and people who want to keep you alive because business is better when you're alive. So it will all be in there, but I actually personally much prefer the RP approach to solving problems because they're interesting.
And it'd be cool to be able to have access to people, not necessarily like the top runners, or like it'd be cool to be able to talk to them, but at least being able to talk to people higher up in the organisation rather than walking up at the front gate and being told to go away.
Then that will be down to you guys making enough of a name of yourself. If you guys don't make enough of a name, I'm sorry, you're going to get stopped at the door, man.
Yeah, but that's one of the things I think I'd like to work towards. Would be really cool.
Yes. Having mentioned the Godfather, I think we might all have to take ranks in like craft taping guns to the back of toilets.
That's all your prep work, man. That's all your prep work.
It's okay. You only need one person to do that. Everyone else just needs to know they're there.
Yeah.
Oh no, we all need to find separate toilets.
We all need to. Literally, our Snoot farm has just got loads of random toilets sitting around with guns strapped to the back of them, just in case.
As you do.
Yeah.
Right. I do have a suggestion.
Sure.
One thing I personally would quite like to see would be one or two like cryptic puzzles within the campaign. I don't know how it would work. Working things, something like that. We're thinking more like nightmare-esque type thing. Something to make us think in sort of a puzzle-solving.
More investigative than action.
Of having to try and work something out in order to get a goal.
I have an idea.
Okay.
If you guys get there, it's a completely different point, but I have an idea.
Yeah.
One other thing I could say as well is it'd be quite cool to see some more like kind of low-tech, practical, like physical things. Because I know we're not a space setting sci-fi thing, but it's quite cool to have like like physical constraints rather than like necessarily electronic. So have like doors being held together by padlocks and things rather than like electric locks and stuff. Just because I'd imagine this world, we're not inside a spaceship.
Yeah, the reason that we had so much tech in the last one is because someone wanted to be a hacker. So because that was in there, because that was a thing, it became a thing in the particular campaign we run. Otherwise, all the kind of like, hey, the whole point of me is I'm a hacker, and that never gets played on. It's so annoying when you're creating a character, like, Yeah.
Although the thing with that though is that I specifically made a character who could pick locks, and I never did.
Yeah, but I forgot, and you never told me.
Yeah, I made a character who was basically based on Hitman, and we never picked a lock, and I never garroted anyone.
You had the option to garrot people.
I just think that, as we're like on a world which is like more like an industrial kind of centre, I'm imagining lots of practical locks and things like keeping people out rather than like electronic devices.
There will be a mix. Don't worry, there will be a mix.
Cool.
I say, unlike the last one, there are no hackers amongst you, so that level of tech will be brought down because we don't need that to facilitate a character being a character.
Also, it could be quite fun to go into a place like, because we've got all this like aviation stuff going on. We break into some random warehouse. There's just technology we don't understand. It's like if I press a button, it does a thing. Yeah,
it beeps at you. Yeah.
What did you press? What did you press? I don't know.
Anything else?
One other little thing. It's like if there was more situations where we've all got to like say we're talking about like getting through a door or something, where we'd have to have either all of us or close to all of us combining all of our stats to achieve some, like to get through a door or some sort of similar obstacle.
Like group checks.
Yeah.
Kind of like a skill challenge. That sounds like.
Yeah.
What the group chat things are, I always run if you guys can find a way of working your stuff together, I always make things easier. Like, if you guys, like, wrong setting, wrong system, but easier way to explain it. For example, if you're doing the D&D setting, and you have someone with Mage Hand and someone with Fireball, flavor text, you put the Fireball in... Sorry, the detonate seed into the Mage Hand, have the Mage Hand run out and then detonate it somewhere else. I would extend the range of both to make that happen. It's kind of a similar thing in this.
Yeah. So more working together. Yeah. So basically.
Yeah.
But that's all down to you guys.
Yeah.
That's a group note for the group. Okay, anything else you guys want to see from me? Anything else you want to see me do? Anything you want to see me not do? Like, for the love of God, stop calling everyone Steve. I will take these notes. I may or may not listen to them.
As this is like an Irilisk and Nitu controlled world, it would be quite cool to see more Irilisk and Nitu NPCs.
You will.
I mean, previously, like, because we were mostly like in human areas, we had the majority human with some other races in there.
Yep.
Yeah, it'd be interesting to explore more about like the Nitu and Irilisk kind of, also their interaction with each other, because none of us were previously aliens. It was always a case of we were like, interacting with like one or the other. But it'd be interesting to see kind of Nitu and Irilisk kind of, especially as we actually have a Nitu working with us.
Yeah. I mean, that'll be something that you guys will come across in this world. As I say, it is predominantly Nitu and Irilisk. More Nitu than Irilisk, because Irilisks have obviously kind of dissolved. Excuse the horribleness. But yeah, that's out there. As a heads up, there is... Ooh, let me find out their acronym, because I did actually write it and I found my notes. So the new Nitu regime is called Genesis of the Irilisk Hegemony, which is basically some of the very old queens and some of the new genetically enhanced ones that come from Helena and all the ilk that she spawned. So they're all kind of together, and there is an internal conflict between those as well that's going on. So you will see a lot of Irilisk stuff going on, and you'll see a lot of Nitu stuff going on. So they will all be there. They're predominantly those. You'll find very few humans out here. You'll probably find even less Rutai. So
also it'd be interesting to see like the racial kind of prejudices and things between
absolutely
people.
You will. So when I said about drawing the line, there will definitely be racism in here. Especially, unfortunately, pointed at you, our resident Nitu. So that's in there. If it gets too much, just have to shout and I will stop. Well, I probably won't, but you can pretend.
I can curl into a ball and start crying.
Yeah, we have our safety word of cucumber, so if it gets too much, to say that, and then we'll hightail it out there. But I will be not pulling my punches.
Sorry, we'll look out for you.
Sorry?
I said sorry, Snake Eyes, we'll look out for you.
Oh, man.
So
okay, that was pretty much the extent of it, because you guys covered most of the stuff that I wanted to see from you guys. We've got not playing Joe Average. He's not playing Joe Average. We want to see someone who's actually controlled, and she will be, because that's entirely her character. Someone playing a bit more serious, exactly what he wanted to do. And the twin Andys trying not to bicker so much, but that's going to happen, so I'll let it happen.
But I won't make as many bombs.
yeah.
Remember, you have to fucking sleep. Do not be a pack rat, you motherfucker.
Now I'm like a hugely strong person that can carry more things on my back.
No!
Yes, but bags tug at your fur. They're horribly uncomfortable.
Yeah, so don't do that. Alright, that's it from me. Because I haven't got an intro plan for you guys. I was just going to throw you in at the deep end and hope for the best. You guys have until Wednesday to sort out any backstory issues that you want to clear up, names, etc., relationships, etc. If you want to throw more backstory stuff in there, write it up. You have until Wednesday. If you haven't decided anything by then, I will be making that decision for you, because I need to run with some stuff, and some stuff I need to have settled before we start. Okay, that's pretty much it, boys and girls. And those who are genderless, you Rutai people. Yeah, That's going to be only Fools and Snoots. So
I'm a little sad we didn't manage to squeeze a Jendal in somewhere.
yeah, but you know these things happen. Maybe you're going to have a Jendal crime boss. I don't know. Until I sit down and figure these things out.
Squiggles, the Jendal crime boss.
Squiggles.
Big jelly.
I'm going to call her Pickles.
Pickles.
Her
Or
name's
Gherkin.
Pickles. Pickles and Gherkin. No.
The crime boss duo.
Not
Salad.
happening. Call themselves the salad. No, it's not happening. I probably am going to use Pickles at some point though, because that name is just hilarious.
Salad.
All right. Is there anything anyone wants to shout out before we officially draw this to a close?
Don't kill Snoots.
You are sorry.
Don't kill Snoots.
Snoots for friends, not for
Take the Snoots.
Yeah. Snoots.
The thing is, if you don't take care of your snoots, what's a girl to do? You don't look after them.
So okay, we've got 2 fantastic snoot farmers going to be looking after these snoots. It's all good.
You have someone
I
who
know
likes to
nothing
dope your
But
snoots.
I just manage them.
You manage the people.
I manage the people.
Resource manager.
Manage the snoot managers.
Yeah. It's going to be interesting, guys. I'm actually ridiculously looking forward to this now.
Yay.
Now I have a vague idea of what the hell is going on and what it is that you guys want. Sure, this is going to be a blast. Okay.
Important one to shout into the void. Though. Happy New Year, everyone.
Oh yeah, shit. Happy season's greetings. Happy Christmas and
Yeah.
holidays and all that good shit.
Yeah. Some people have manners. We don't. But hey.
Some people, it's not me. It's not me.
Yeah. Oh. Not I.
Oh my god. Okay. Right. Okay, so yeah, I'm drawing this to a close, unless there really is something anyone wants to shout into the void. Let's do wrap-up links really quickly. I'm going to go last, Thirsty's going to go second to last, so let's go with Tech.
Okay, yeah, you can find me on Twitters at tech_BTP. You can find me online at bloodthirstypuppets.co.uk and gbstudios.co.uk for any techie needs. Yeah, that's me.
Cool. And Killer Kitten?
I'm Killer Kitten. You can find me on Instagram and on Twitter at KillerKitten21. Yeah.
Smooth. Dev?
you can find. You right? You can
Sorry.
find-
I'm going to mute myself. Carry on.
I think it's at dev_BTP.
You're not muted.
No. That'll do. That's
Okay.
fine. That'll do. You carry on. Corone.
Oh, yes, you can find me at corone_BTP on Twitter. You can also find me at jqs.org.uk for all information about my short film project, Betrayed, which we're filming in March. Yay! And stuff. But yes, looking forward to this.
Me too.
Thirsty?
Yes.
Go.
Okay. Right. Yeah, you can find me on Twitter at thirsty_BTP. You can find me on bloodthirstypuppets.co.uk. You can find me in other places where I do various things. And soon you can find us on Patreon.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. That's future goals. That'll
Future
be soon.
goals, I basically need you to look over it.
Yeah, that's
That's
true.
it.
That's actually all on me. Okay, cool. So we have a link in chat, a command which is !FNS, and it gives us all of our Twitter handles. So you guys went through it. There's a link. All up on there.
Thanks.
That's all right. I just thought I'd let you guys go through that while I cough and fill that little part of airspace. You can find me on Twitter at blood_BTP. You can find me and some of the stuff we do on bloodthirstypuppets.co.uk. Nailed it. This has been interesting and fun. Thanks, guys. Other than that, probably check out the Twitter because it's probably the easiest place to track what the hell it is I'm doing next. We have a few podcasts coming out Monday, which we have to record tomorrow, which is Podgate. The episode that just went out had Thirsty on it, and it was a great episode. It was very, very fun. We have an interesting one coming up next. So that comes out Monday. The other podcast I do is coming out Monday as well, which is TLD. The episode that coming out, that's going to be pretty good. And other than that, I think it's just on Skag's channel whenever the hell it is that we return back to doing Skag stuff. So that's probably the next place you'll find me out. I think that's probably it, right? We don't have anything else planned. Oh, no, Thousand Archers crew tomorrow because we are changing GMs, changing stories to something else. So yeah, but there'll be no Thousand Archers tomorrow, which is yeah. So we had a slight issue where World Chaostus is no longer going to be run by Arch because he simply doesn't have the time and he's feeling a bit of GM burnout. So we're going to make things a bit easier on him, and Casey is going to step into the fold. It's a brave and scary new world, and I'm so excited because I get to play an ASMR. I'm so happy by this. Yeah, so that will be coming up next week. So everything goes back to normal next week. So we'll be back to Podgate on Wednesday. We'll be back to Friday Night Spiced, Only Fools and Snoots on Friday, and we'll be starting the new round of Thousand Archers crew on the Saturday night. So it's all going to be good and fun and exciting. Alright, that's enough of me babbling forward and talking bullshit, so I'm going to wrap up and say goodnight. So, time at the bar, bitch. Is there anything anyone wants to share into the void?
I've got a nice hat.
Fucking A.
That's a no then.
That's a no then. Thank Kevin MacLeod for all the free ass music. Thank you, Contact.
Thank you.
Yeah, excellent. Right, that's it. Time at the bar, bitches. Drink up, and we'll catch you on another time. Good night.
Laters.
Yeah.